Hello,
Hi,
my name is Virginia,
I'm Bianca.
and we are the identical twins from the Dying Movie Race. Alright, before we start, we just want to do some little movie news here. We're going to mention the movies you can pre-order off Warner Archive. We wanted to mention, because a long time ago on the blog, we did, movies you could pre-order as a blog post, but that took too much time, and we're way busier now than we were then. But, so it would be nice that when something does become available, we mention it. So we're going to talk about the Warner Archive pre-orders here. All right, so you can get George Arliss and Alexander Hamilton. We got some Ronald Colman. Yay! Those Ronald Colman being Condemned and The Devil to Pay. Right, re-releasing Betty Davis and Jezebel. Lay Girls on Blu-ray, we like that one a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Some more early talkies, Lights of New York.
The first all-talking picture.
As the tagline says. Does it age well?
No.
Alright. A Lost Lady with Barbara Stanwyck
Ooh.
and Ricardo Cortez. Manhattan Parade.
Winnie Leitner.
Uh-huh. A Notorious Affair.
Billy Dove and Basil Rathbone.
I should just mention this for Bianca.
Oh my god.
Perfect Stranger.
I had no
Season
idea.
3.
Oh my god.
See, she didn't know.
No, this is good news for me.
Yeah, that means they're gonna release them all.
Oh, thank god.
There you go. Alright, Shining Victory.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah, I knew you did. Another reason to mention these. Alright, The Ship from Shanghai with Conrad Nagel. And I wanted to mention this as another reason why I wanted to talk about these. They were re-releasing the Tex Avery's Droopy collection. If you saw our video of our box sets that I did, I mentioned that I had to go on eBay to get it, and I actually got it for a pretty good price on eBay. I think I paid like $30-$40 for it, but it was really tough to get, and they're really worth owning. And I mean, I'm glad I got it then because I had to write a blog about it. But, yeah, it was. But yeah, definitely pick it up if you're into the Looney Tunes and Tex Avery and just cartoons in general. Especially since it doesn't look like we're getting like Red Hot Riding Hood or any of those anytime soon, but I hope we do. All right, and they're also re-releasing The Bride Came COD, The Damned Don't Cry. They're releasing The Prime Minister, re-releasing Towards on one of our favorite James Cagney movies.
Yep.
Actually, when we met, remember when we met we went to see the Off-Broadway show Cagney a couple years back, and when we met the star in it who plays James Cagney in it, and he asked us what our favorite James Cagney movie was, and I said Towards.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I was the one that said that.
Yeah. Oh, I said that, I know.
Okay,
I thought I remember you said White Heat.
Oh yeah, I like that one a lot.
I do too, but yeah, those were the two we mentioned.
I was just talking about that movie.
Yeah. Alright, and Woman Chases Man with
Anytime Mary Hopkins comes out, it's a good day.
Yes, and
Joel McCrea.
Yeah, he's a handsome individual. Alright, so now to the topic at hand. Alright, so we are in April, which means
Cartoon Month.
Yay. Alright, now we've been doing like the Dying Movie Race for this is going to be our third year in it, and I only did Cartoon Month once, which was last year, and I wrote blog posts for it. You can look at those if you want. I did Warner Brothers, the Looney Tunes, Merry Melodies. I did Disney shorts, but I also have blog posts to the Disney live action movies and the Disney feature-length movies. We're going to talk about all of those today. And I also did the MGM cartoons, Tom and Jerry, Droopy, all those. And I did the last one I did was Walter Lantz, Woody Woodpecker, and stuff. And that's actually all four of those are like some of my favorite posts I ever wrote. And I especially like the one I did on Lance because I got to be critical, but I also got to talk about like the good stuff, so I like doing that. But anyway, this year we're going to talk about
this day.
Yeah. All right. Well, for this week we're going to talk about just Disney, and like I said, we're going to talk about not just the cartoons, but we're going to talk about the live action films, the feature length animated features, and the shorts, which obviously is how they became famous. And I think we should start with that.
The shorts, yeah.
Yes, because when we get into, because then we'll dive into the feature length animated films, because I feel like we'll kind of segue into that, like, just out of, because that's the natural progression we're going to make. But so let's talk about our personal history with the short Disney cartoons, because we have.
Can I remember that far back?
Yeah, I was gonna say we have quite a history with these. We actually grew up on a lot of these cartoons.
Yeah.
Our parents would buy like VHSs where there was a bunch of them just together, and we would rent them. I know, like, back when Blockbuster was a thing, we'd go.
And back when they'd show them on TV too.
Yeah, they showed them on TV. I remember there was like a program, because they did Mouseworks, and
it was on ABC.
Yeah, and I remember they made newer cartoons, and I remember even then I didn't think those were as funny as the older stuff, and it could be just because the older stuff was the stuff I really like grew up on, like, because I don't remember a time when they were new to me. But let's talk about some of our favorites. What are some of your favorite shorts?
Well, you know, I'm a big fan of Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, you especially.
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse is definitely, that's your territory. You know? Like, I think, like,
I love that mouse.
Yeah, when it comes to Looney Tunes, I know more. When it comes to Tom and Jerry, you know more. When it comes to Woody Woodpecker and Droopy and just, like, the directors, I tend to know more, and you know more Betty Boop.
I do.
Yeah. But, alright, but you are the Mickey Mouse person.
Yes.
Of the two of us. And even though we both grew up on him, we've both seen a lot of his cartoons, you are the expert because you've studied him extensively.
Yeah, when I was in high school, I had a little project I did where I watched all his cartoons, studied them.
Yeah,
so.
and she's seen them all. There's not a Mickey Mouse cartoon she hasn't seen.
No.
Yeah.
Well, there's not as many as there are, like, Looney Tunes.
No, that's true. I'm still working my way through Looney Tunes, but
I just think Mickey Mouse ones are something special. You really feel like you're watching the pinnacle cartoons of the era.
Yeah, it is obviously the cartoon character that created all cartoon characters, even though technically he came from the Felix the Cat mold, and obviously Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, Disney's first star, who's also worth watching.
We love him too. But Mickey Mouse, my favorite ones from him are Building a Building, Through a
David
Mirror.
Hand, yeah.
Yeah, Through the
also
Mirror.
David Hand.
Brave Little Taylor.
I like David Hand, yeah. Brave Little Taylor is my favorite. That's the big one I grew up on.
Oh, yes, I remember.
And it's just super nostalgic to me, and it's super charming, and I love the animation, and, like, I still remember the visual jokes, like, I've remembered the giant picking up the haystack, I think it was a smoke. Yeah, and then lighting it on fire.
That was interesting to see.
And Mickey's in the stack.
It's in the stack, yeah.
Yep. And he pokes his head out and says "Gesundheit." I always remember that.
I killed 6 with one. Wait, 7 with one blow.
One blow. Yep. The Grimm brothers story that they took.
Yeah. So those are probably my 3 favorites. Although I like a lot. I like Blue Rhythm, because he does an impression of Ted Lewis in that, so, and I think that was, like, I remember when I saw that, I was like, who is this Ted Lewis guy? And then all of a sudden, obviously, I know, and so here we are, like, you know, now I love Ted Lewis, big fan, one of my favorite bands of the time, too, actually, so Mickey brought me to him, so, yeah, I really do love Mickey, and I especially also like him with Donald and Goofy.
Me too. The ones with the trio of them I find very funny. Claw Cleaners is probably my favorite out of the ones the trio did. As a kid, I always liked Mickey's Trailer. Like, that was.
I always liked that one too.
A lot. Yeah. All right. So, why don't we start with the early Disney shorts?
Okay.
All right, so you want to talk about Oswald a little bit? I've seen some of this. You've seen a bit more than I have.
Yeah.
And this is obviously before he went to Lance. When Mince technically stole Oswald and took him, and then Lance won him. And,
so he was at Universal at the time.
He was, yes. This is before Universal, though.
And this is where he came up with Oswald, who is kind of similar to Mickey in style. Even some of Mickey's cartoons, like Ye Olden Days and my favorite, Building and Building, were rehashes of Oswald cartoons, but done in a much more a broader manner.
Yeah,
I mean, they're longer
and they're more fluid.
Yeah, they are.
Obviously,
but for silent cartoons,
they look really good.
They look amazing.
Compare like a Felix the Cat cartoon at the time to an Oswald one, and Oswald. No bump to Felix the Cat, because obviously he just continued what was popular.
Yeah.
What he was doing what he was doing in the early 20s, whereas Oswald.
No, they were definitely less fluid too, because it's a little choppy sometimes, and it's probably because these haven't been restored very well too.
And also because Felix talked, and he had those little he had like not really title cards but dialogue boxes, whereas Oswald didn't talk. He just like had emotions, and
he was silent. Like Mickey was silent for a while too.
Yeah, so. I think the difference between Oswald and Mickey's like this in his earlier cartoons, but obviously he became a happy-go-lucky everyman type of character, whereas, well, not so much everyman. Happy-go-lucky Donald Duck was an everyman, but and Goofy to an extent later on, but Oswald got mad and he would like throw a tantrum.
Yeah,
and
he would.
A fit. And Mickey obviously was much happier than
Oswald he would occasionally, but not.
Yeah, especially his earlier stuff. But later on, he like kind of got over that. So, I want to mention. You want to mention? There's a joke we really like from Charlie Troubles, one of Oswald's cartoons,
where he takes his own foot and rubs himself with it for
like
luck.
A lucky rabbit's foot. That made me laugh way harder than I should have, because I legitimately really.
And I love the moments where he like comes up to. I want to say the camera, even though it's not the camera, but we'll just say for the camera for...
That's uber Wixer. Yeah. All his cartoons are like that, where things jump at you.
And Mickey did that, but not at the beginning. It was it was kind of maybe 30, 31, where he really got the hang of being more fluid like that, and being able to express more emotion up against the camera, up to the screen.
Yeah. Okay, so then we get to the 30s and we get into Silly Symphony territory.
Yeah, Silly Symphony. At first they kind of started out as musical shorts. They really became more storytellers later.
Like fairy tales.
Yeah. And this probably kind of happened around the time of Flowers and Trees, which was the first time he used color as well.
The first we have the first full color cartoon. The first like 2-strip Technicolor cartoon was Fiddlesticks with Flip the Frog at Uberwix.
I meant the first time Disney used it.
No, I know that, and it's the first like full color. Yeah, it's the first like full color cartoon. Like I think to be not in 2-strip, but to be in real color,
Technicolor.
Yes, Technicolor, full Technicolor.
And Mickey wouldn't even use it for another 3 years with the band concert.
And that was a system a lot of like the studios did, was their star would be in black and white, but their musical more that didn't have a star to sell it or in color. Like if you look at
in their musical shorts, to be sure.
If you look at Looney Tunes in the early days, when they just picked up ground. Porky Pig's in black and white, but the Merry Melodies are in color. And that's, because obviously Porky Pig was a star, and he could sell a cartoon on his own, he didn't need color.
And the same went with live action movies, too.
Yes, exactly. And
why do you think, like, you don't see Clark Gable in a lot of color films? He doesn't need color.
And also because in cartoons like the Silly Symphonies, it's not based on jokes and gags, it's based on visuals. Like the visuals are such an important part of it, and that was the same way with the Merry Melodies at Warner Brothers, whereas Porky Pig relied on jokes and, writing, which didn't need color. It was like, that would be a waste of money at the time.
But the Silly Symphonies were musical shorts.
Yeah.
At first.
Yes.
Well, I mean, mainly just musical shorts. Yeah. No story, just kind of a whole bunch of stuff happening. The most famous being the Skeleton Dance, which was the first.
That's a good one.
Which was the first one they did.
It still looks really good.
It does.
Uberwix,
and that's one where they come up to the camera too.
Uberwix animation, I think, ages really well. It does. Because it looks like, especially for a cartoon at that time, it looks really good. Like, when
you think of classic cartoon animation, you think of that kind.
Yeah, like because he did Steamboat Willie, obviously, and that's. He drew that, and that is such a fluid cartoon. I think that's because to me it's still impressive, because you watch it and you're like, that was the late 20s and it looks like that.
Yeah,
I mean, that's amazing.
And so you had Mickey Mouse and the Silly Symphonies, which really put Disney on the map. These two, I mean, especially Mickey, but the Silly Symphonies were a cut above every other musical shorts that were being put out by other
the Silly
studios.
Symphonies, I think, critically were the most praised cartoons of the 30s, because
But audience-wise, it was Mickey.
Yes, exactly.
Easily.
Yeah. Mickey was the crowd pleaser, and Silly Symphonies was what won awards.
Yeah.
Because every year, what won best short cartoon, it was a Silly Symphony.
Yeah.
And usually very deservingly so, like with Flowers and Trees, it was the first one to win. And
I love that one.
Me too. I think it's great. I do.
And obviously the classic, there's a lot of famous Silly Symphonies. The classic Three Little Pigs is a Silly Symphony.
Yeah.
And so they really experiment with animation in the Silly Symphony. Because the first time they started really drawing humans was in Silly Symphony. They weren't anymore like the crude little mousy cartoons.
Yeah. And what I think is interesting with the Silly Symphonies is how experimental they are.
Yeah.
Because, like, they definitely had very interesting ideas. Something that, you wouldn't see for a feature-length movie, but something that works perfectly in a short cartoon. So, especially because a lot of Silly Symphony cartoons were high concept, like Music Land, which is all a land filled with people. Instead of people, they're musical instruments.
Or Cookie Carnival, they're desserts. That's a fun one.
Yeah, exactly. And those are like a similar concept, except one's musical instruments, one's desserts, and they're both great cartoons. And I think these also push the envelope of animation. And look at something like The Old Mill, which won best cartoon that year, and nothing that year looked half as good as
I know they really developed. They were better than Right Studios at the time, and they were much more developed too, animation wise. They looked so much more better. You can't even tell sometimes what you wouldn't be able to guess what year they are because they look so good.
I think overall the best decade for cartoons was the 40s, but I think Disney's high era of short cartoons was the 30s.
Yeah.
Because that's when you have both the Mickey, like Donald, Goofy cartoons, but you also, granted, Donald and Goofy were like just starting up, but you have the Silly Symphonies, and they're really good looking cartoons.
Like if you look at something like The Moth and the Flame, that looks just as good as Pinocchio does. That's how good looking these.
And they had all the exact same people who were doing the feature films. They did these, like you had all these great people, obviously. David Hand, as we mentioned.
The big one.
Yeah, Burt Gillett, Ben Sharpstein, Wilfred Jackson, a big one. And you had, also Dick Lundy, who was an animator, became director for Donald later, but he's also the guy who created Donald Duck as a character, basically, and said, what if he had a hair trigger temper? And all these these are the same people who were doing Snow White and Pinocchio and Fantasia. So it was very... It's not like how I feel like...
They do different scenes of the cartoons, too. It's really... You can't really contribute... the whole movie to one director. Can't. They really took turns with the scenes, and it's amazing how fluid it is with how many directors are working on it.
That's what's really impressive is that it looks like it's all done by one guy. And yet you find out that, like, each segment is done by a different person, like... How in Snow White it's, like you find, oh, so-and-so did this part, like, oh, James Seamus Culhane did the hi-ho sequence. Oh, I wouldn't have guessed that. Yeah. It looks like it's all under the same direction. And
even later, when you hear about some of the people that worked with Disney, you're like, oh my god, because it's not like their style. You really have to commit to the Disney style because, Don Bluth worked there. And even... I believe Tim Burton worked. He was an animator for a while, and he was kind of bored with doing the cutesy little characters. Yeah. But you had to do that. That was the thing you had to convert to.
And that's why I think it's so weird that James Seamus Culhane and Dick Lundy were Disney alumni. Like they learned everything from Disney. James Seamus Culhane also learned a little from the Fleischer brothers as well. But they're known for Woody Woodpecker and Dick Lundy did MGM later on. He did One Droopy. He did Barney Bear. These were slapstick comedies.
Yeah, Disney's not very slapsticky. I mean, the early Mickey Mouse ones are, but by the
Goofy later on, and those are some of my favorites.
But by the mid-30s, they really weren't that so much. It was more art. Cartoon
yep.
as an art form.
Yes.
Which, and obviously this was kind of laughable in the day. People were like, cartoons can't be art.
And then they saw these. And
and then they saw, especially Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. But they weren't even nominated for Best Picture because they were still
They were afraid
on the edge.
everyone was going to make cartoons. Like, all other filmmaking would be obsolete, which is so stupid.
That's not true. Yeah.
That's really dumb, especially since it takes so long to make a movie like that. I mean, the other film techniques aren't going to go away.
It's amazing how people escalate like so quickly with things. Like they go from 1 to 11 with things, and I guess filmmaking is no different.
Yeah, definitely. Like, 1 animated movie is nominated for Best Picture. That means everyone's going to do it. Yeah.
I mean, because they were thinking like talking pictures, but that was more of a technology-wise, and just made more sense.
Yeah.
Animation is much more costly and much longer, so no way was everybody going to be going to animation.
Yeah, exactly.
You are going to see John Ford being like, I should be an animator.
And most, obviously, there were many filmmakers who started out in the cartoon game. Obviously, most famous being Frank Tashlin, but
Tish Tash,
as he was called as a animator. But I mean,
and it kind of shows too.
Yeah,
and I always loved Frank Tashlin.
Yeah. And, I mean, Richard Fleischer didn't go into cartoons, he went into movie making. He went into feature filmmaking, like, gritty noir, which is something you wouldn't see someone with a Fleischer name doing, but he did, and he was great at it. So I think
some of our favorite noirs are done by him.
Yeah. So I think, saying that one art form is so much superior than the other is, definitely sticking your nose.
I mean, and they were also like kind of in their own little bunker in the studio, so they didn't really fraternize as much with the other people. So I guess people did kind of seem as sort of the outcasts of the studio because you didn't see them as much because they were always working. They're not going to be coming out,
Yeah, and that seems to
talking to the stars.
Particularly be the case with Disney, whereas something like, Warner Brothers, they were separated from the rest of the studio. I remember, like, Chuck Jones saying when he went to MGM, it was so weird because he'd walk around the studio and then he'd see all the celebrities, like he'd see Robert Taylor and everybody, but, at Warner Brothers, they didn't see anybody because they were, like, isolated. World, But that's especially the case with Disney because Disney was its own studio. They distributed through RKO. But they were their own studio, so they weren't interacting with stars.
And then later
got some movie stars to be in their stuff.
But later they did Buena Vista, so they were completely their own.
Yeah.
Because it was independently done.
Exactly. Alright, so when the 40s hit, I mean, I think it's safe to say that the 30s were like Disney,
late 30s especially.
Especially the late 30s. Disney was at its peak. It won all the awards. It was a major money maker. But then when the 40s hit, they have competition. All the other studios figure out what they want to do, how they're gonna do it, and they have identities of their own. And they have all of them have cartoon stars now too,
and they're more slapsticky than Disney is. That's not really Disney's style.
Yeah, except for the later goofy cartoons. Yeah, they found the style that they wanted to do, and they went into a completely different direction, so they were no longer Disney clones.
And Tom and Jerry won all the awards.
Yeah, so. Tom and Jerry were the kings of the awards at this point. They stole they were stealing every award.
I mean, I don't think that Disney really cared because, I mean, feature-length cartoons weren't being nominated anyway, and that's what he was working on. Yeah. Obviously, if they were going to be doing the best films, then they would... I mean, they were still nominated for other awards, but if they were really doing the best movies, then they would definitely have been nominated.
Yeah, and no one else even tried to do
what he was doing with feature length.
Fleischer tried, and it like bankrupted him, and he had to sell out the studio and all that. But and sell all his characters. So I think seeing another like Titan go down like that, because he was Disney's big in the 30s. He was the only one that competed with Disney, like was even close to competing with Disney, even though Disney was still the king.
Well, because he wasn't trying to be Disney.
That is why. But I'm sure when other studios saw him go down, they're like, we're not going to do that. We're gonna stick safe and do what we know works. And with most studios, it was Schwartz slapstick, and that's what the awards liked at this time. That's what a lot of audiences got really into.
Just Disney was getting bigger and bigger and bigger with feature films. They were just focusing really all their time on that. They would still make cartoons, and they were good cartoons.
Yeah, and they also, this is around the time when their cartoons tended to aim a bit at a more general audience, whereas something like Tex Avery aimed at adults and teenagers. And
it was always Disney's purpose to reach out to everyone.
Audience, yeah, especially get kids excited, yeah.
Which is something they still try to do today, although I don't think they do it as well as they used to.
Yeah.
I mean, of this time, because they really are for everyone.
And I'll talk about that a bit more when we get to live
they
action
can get
Disney.
Like today, they can get pretty juvenile sometimes.
I'll touch that when we get to live action, yeah. Because there are both spectrums on that side.
And feature length, to be sure, when we talk about those.
Yes. But, so, in the 40s, Mickey is no longer really making cartoons. A lot of the cartoon directors didn't want to touch him because, by this point, Walt had such strict rules for what you could do with Mickey, so a lot of them didn't even bother.
He lost Oswald, so he was very attached to Mickey. I honestly
think that's why he was attached to Mickey. Yeah. He lost Oswald, and he became protective of his next star, and this is obviously the thing this is
the thing that made him have his own studio. He always said
him the biggest,
he always said it'd start with the mouse, absolutely.
It technically started with a rabbit, but
I mean, the whole Disney canon, the Disney empire that it is now. This is Mickey's company.
And so most directors now are doing Donald, Goofy, and Pluto cartoons, and those are the big cartoons. And these cartoons age super well.
They age just as well as Mickey at his best, but I guess people don't really...
Symphony's at its best,
but people don't really view them as much, I guess, because these are kind of more quick. They don't have as much heart. They're just there to be funny, and they are really funny.
They're great, yeah.
And Pluto, they have different personalities, too. Compared to Mickey, because it was Pluto, and you were talking about Pluto's Judgment Day. You referenced that before.
I don't think I did, but yeah.
I mean, when we were talking before.
When we were talking beforehand, yeah.
Yeah, you referenced Pluto's Judgment Day, and that's technically a Mickey cartoon, but some Mickey cartoons did revolve around Pluto before he got his own cartoons, Sans Mickey. And so you see stuff like that, and Pluto really is a very, he emotes a lot, and
he's the expressive character.
He is, because he doesn't talk. I said sometimes he'll pant, like, talk.
Yeah.
But he isn't really a talker. Like in one of his early cartoons with Mickey, it's a Mickey Mouse cartoon, it's black and white, he talks then, but he really is a silent character, which is interesting, because Donald and Goofy talk.
It's like the softer end of someone like Tom and Jerry.
Exactly.
Tom and Jerry were not
silent,
mute protagonists. They talked occasionally.
People often think,
and I thought that as a kid too. And then I remember seeing cartoons where they talked, and I was like, "What's going on?" But
and they just didn't talk regularly.
Yeah,
and Goofy at this time became silent too, because his main voice actor, I believe, was Pinto Colvig. He wasn't at the studio. Yeah, he wasn't at the studio anymore. So they just were like, "Oh my god, what are you going to do? He's just not going to talk." So Goofy became, again, the silent everyman, and his how-to shorts are hilarious.
Those are some of my favorites. Did. I think because they're funny, and I'm since I'm the Looney Tunes buff, I like funny animals. Yeah. I like animals beating the crap out of each other, and
I just love Goofy because he's so dumb. It's endearing.
Me too, and I think and it's funny, like, the extremes between Donald and Goofy. Goofy is the easygoing idiot, and Donald is the hair-trigger temper.
And Donald's hilarious, too. I love both of them. Obviously, I love everybody Disney ever touched at this time. But with Donald, too, Donald gets angry all the time. He often is with his nephews, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and his girlfriend, Daisy. And Huey, Dewey, and Louie always get on his nerves. And he has the poorest luck, so it's really interesting seeing the situations Donald Duck gets himself into.
As a kid, we liked Huey, Dewey, and Louie a lot, also because DuckTales was on, like, when we were really young, so, like, it was when I was, like, just getting into TV, like when I was, like, 4, but I do remember it.
We watched that every morning.
Yeah.
And we watched the show with the other two characters we loved, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
Yeah. I wanted to get into that because I was going to say, we have a younger brother, so growing up, we liked Huey, Dewey, and Louie because we felt like we all three of us could be Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and that's what we tended to do. Like, when we had Mickey Race Speedway, we wanted to play as Huey, Dewey, and Louie, but
I would always play as Mickey, and I'd be Goofy quite a bit too.
Yeah, but then we get but you and I were really into Chip and Dale because
that's just one of my favorite video games. I have to say, I played that like how long?
It's your favorite?
I said it's one of my favorites.
Yeah. I mean,
you know how long I was good at that. I wasn't good at any other.
It's good,
except for Super Smash Brothers.
It's good. It's no Mario Kart or Diddy Kong Racing, but yeah,
I love that one.
Yeah.
But we liked Chip and Dale because there were two of them, and there was two of us.
Yeah, because anything where there was like a duo, we liked a lot.
Yeah, like we said, we liked C3PO and R2D2. We liked Winnie the Pooh and Piglet. People we could play as, and I was always Chip, and you were always Dale.
Yeah, also because I think as a kid, when we were kids, we honestly thought they were twins.
Yeah.
I think.
No, I think we did. They very well might be.
Yeah, because they're clearly the same age, and they might be brothers. Are they brothers?
For all we know,
yeah, they could be.
For all we know, they're twins. Okay, guys, they're twins.
I think we looked at them that way because we were, so we really connected with them.
And at first they looked completely alike. Like there wasn't even a dumber one with Dale. So
and he didn't even have his red nose yet.
Yeah, no. It wasn't until they really became their own characters after Squatter Rights that where
they're like they were always the tricksters, but they're taken up to 11 there, where they have their banter with each other.
And they gave Dale like one to step out from Chip. But I remember when we went to Disney World, we got Chips and Dales, and I got Chip and you got a Dale. Because we're like, we have to get them.
We have to. They are our boys. Yeah. So then we get to the 50s, and
this is where they kind of completely almost stopped. Like, okay, we're just working on feature lengths now.
Because obviously in the 40s, you had a lot to do because you had to do like World War II propaganda and things that boosted morale.
And their characters also still appeared in their movies because you had segments and like Make My Music and Melody Time where they're there. Like there's Blame It on the Samba. The Three Caballeros.
Saludos Amigos.
And most famous, because that one has all of them. And and obviously most famously Sorcerer's Apprentice.
And obviously Fun and Fancy Free, a big one.
Oh yeah, Making the Beanstalk.
Yes, which is half the movie.
Yeah. I like that one because Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy tell it, so it's really funny. The little red barn.
So, in the 50s, and this wasn't just Disney, this was every studio.
Oh, our dog's at the door in just a minute.
Okay, so they started making less and less cartoons, and this was common in a lot of places, but mainly because Disney was focusing on other things at the time.
Yeah. Most studios had budget cuts. Disney didn't have to worry about that because they were the studio.
They also had, in the 50s, that's when they really got into live action, and actually, and it proved to be, because they
weren't doing, sequence films anymore. It was just whole live action. At the Cinderellas,
Cinderella saved Disney from
it did
money
and
problems.
yet the Alice in Wonderlands, these are whole feature length films. They're not episodic films
and
Make My Music and Melody Time.
They're being released more regularly at this point. And they're also
one every year.
And they're also and I remember when Disney made the when he wanted to do live action, a lot of people were like, but you're known for cartoons, why would you want to do live action? And it proved to work. Same with the amusement park. They're like, why are you doing this? And it proved to work. So all his investments turned out to work very well.
No, believe it or not, he knew what he was doing.
Okay, but let's get into the features. So I'll just pull up the list here so we don't skip anything. Okay, so let's talk about our favorites first.
Mine is Dumbo.
Mine is Bambi.
Around the same time.
Yeah. And what's your runner-up?
Bambi.
My runner-up is Pinocchio. Dumbo's number 3, though. And I mean, so why Dumbo? I mean, I know the answer, but they don't.
My heart just weeps watching this film, but it's also so happy at the end. I really go through a roller coaster of emotions. It doesn't matter how many times I've seen it. I just always care about that little elephant. I cry, we just rewatched it not long ago, and I was crying again. Cry every time that song Baby Mine plays. And it's beautiful looking. And Pink Elephants on Parade is one of the most artistic animated sequences ever put onto film. And just the story really, I think even the most cynical person can feel something watching this movie.
Alright, and I like Bambi. I like, just because to me it is art, but it's art. It's not pretentious art, but it's art. What what I'm a big fan of in the movie is how the music perfectly coincides with the animation. Probably my favorite scene in the movie. I also like the ending a lot, but in the movie when they're on the meadow and the deers are the whole group of deer are running and they're hopping, and then like every time they hop and hit the ground there's a percussion. Yeah, there are, thimbles slamming together and cymbals.
Not thimbles.
Not thimbles, yeah. Cymbals slamming together, and it sounds so cool.
Yeah.
And it just works with the animation. You feel like you're there, and I think that
Disney knew the importance of a score, and I love the songs in Bambi too.
Yeah, I think Bambi has the best score of them all, and I think it has some of the best songs of the whole Disney lot. Yeah. I know
Frank Churchill. Yeah, wonderful Frank Churchill.
I know people will find me and say, "You grew up during the Renaissance. How can you like Bambi's music more than something like something from the Renaissance where
like a Hakuna Matata?
Yeah, where they were more musical."
Oh, we liked Timon and Pumbaa because there was two of them.
There was two of them. Yeah, we were big fans of that. But we'll talk about that. We'll get to the Renaissance. I really like this because I think it's haunting. Honestly, like this movie is a haunting movie. It honestly doesn't make me cry. Even as a kid, I didn't cry. I was more enthralled by it. I
know people always cite this as the one they cry during. I cry during like every single damn one, but this one I don't really cry during because I'm just too interested. I think I don't know.
Yeah,
like too enthralled to cry.
Because it's such high art. Like I think that the famous scene, "Your mother cannot be with you anymore." I'm more like in that scene. Yes, it's so emotional, and I feel it when I watch it. But I also have to look at the way it's animated and the way it moves and how it progresses the story.
And it's not like Baby Mine where they really milk it,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's Bambi is like your mom's dead. Next scene,
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess maybe you don't really have enough time to really work up much of too much tears for me personally, and I cry during everything.
And also, Bambi is such a very it's one that relies so heavily on the score, and in that moment, there's no music. No. It's just quiet. Like it lets Bambi sit with it, and then we move on.
Come, my son.
Yeah. I love that reveal, he really is because as a kid, obviously as an adult, if you're watching it, he's his father because he's the prince of the forest. But as a kid, you never see him acknowledge it, and he's always spoken about as somebody who's distant. So seeing that reveal was like, wow. Even though I don't remember the first time I saw this, I still remember. I do remember every time I watch it, just being like, that's such a cool way how they reveal to the younger crowd that he really is his dad. Okay, so we obviously the late 30s and early 40s, that's our jam. Those are our favorites.
Easily.
And
I've been like the episodic ones because you have stuff like The Male Who Wanted to Sing at the Met.
Really good. Tour de Force from Nelson Eddy and that.
So naturally I like it.
Yeah. Alright, so do you want to go briefly through?
Okay, yes. Let's do that.
Alright. Alright. So, Snow White.
Genius.
Probably my favorite princess.
Maybe. Yeah, there's someone who I work with, she has a young son. He doesn't like the newer movies as much, he won't watch them. He'll watch the old ones. He likes Snow White.
My man.
That really says something, doesn't
my
it?
Man. Yeah. But it's funny, because as a kid, even then, a couple years ago, I would have said Beauty and the Beast, but Snow White, super, it was one I always liked. My mom made me go as Snow White for Halloween. I think that always upset me. I
was Belle that year.
I wanted to be Pikachu.
I remember that.
But I liked
you as Snow White. I thought you
looked
nice.
I did look nice. I mean, I worked it, but it was, I wasn't happy doing that, but I liked the movie, and it didn't sour me on the movie, but over the years, I come to appreciate the movie even more.
Yeah.
Alright. Pinocchio, as I mentioned, it's my second favorite.
And it's a lot darker than you remember it, too, so that's always interesting.
This movie never scared me as a kid. It scares me now when I watch it.
I know, it's not odd.
It's
same
odd.
Here.
I was kind of made of, I guess I was made of more iron. As a kid, a lot of things didn't scare me.
A lot of kids will tell me, stuff like pink elephants on parade scared them. I'm like, are you kidding? That never scares me.
I don't get that. And
doesn't scare me now.
I remember when I was a kid, and because I watched Pinocchio, I watched all of them a lot.
Yeah.
All the time. I would just
all these ones we've seen
them over and over and over again. But with Pinocchio, when kids would tell me they were afraid of it, I was like, what? Why? Now I watch it. I'm I see why. I think probably objectively this could be their best film. Because I think the animation, the thrills, the artistic tour de force that it is something. I mean, one memorable scene follows another. There's not a lull in this movie. It's just nonstop entertainment, nonstop action.
Yeah.
It's like you wouldn't think with Pinocchio.
All the characters are memorable, and all the songs are very good.
And they also they had some notable voices in Snow White, and they have even more in Pinocchio. Like, they have really notable characters.
Obviously, Cliff Edwards as Jimmy Crick, and they have Evelyn Venable, Walter Catlett, Frankie Darrow.
Yeah. A lot of great voices, and they all match their characters perfectly.
They do.
Like, you don't see them talking into a mic when they're doing this. You just see the character. That's all. All right, Fantasia.
I love this one.
Me too.
I think this is an artistic tour de force. This is seriously a genius of a movie. And I guess maybe some people find it pretentious. I don't. I just am too...
We're into silly symphonies, so we don't find
this is like a picture of the best silly symphonies put together in one film. That's
what it feels like. I think especially... I think, the highlights of the film are...
The Rite of Spring with the dinosaurs.
Yeah, the dinosaurs,
Oh my god.
Sorcerer's Apprentice, and
obviously Night on Bald Mountain.
Yeah.
The grand finale.
Yes, I think those three are the ones that,
Absolutely.
they have a punch to them.
They really do.
And also, I think animation-wise, this one's
as good as it gets. As good as it gets.
Your favorite, Dumbo, and I mentioned it's probably my third favorite.
Yeah.
We talked about this one.
Yeah, absolutely disarming. And just heartbreaking, but in all the right places, and then it mends it again.
Yeah. And Bambi, which we talked about. My favorite, your runner-up. And,
gorgeous.
Disney at its most artistic, and you said that you think maybe even objectively it could be their best film.
I think so, yeah.
It would rival Pinocchio, I think, objectively. But,
or in Snow White.
In Snow White, obviously. I know that, some critics, when I hear them write about Pinocchio, I'm like, oh, you think this is Disney's best film, do you? The way they talk about it, but... Alright, Make My Music.
So yeah, this one's, an entertaining, array of music, and you gotta... So it's fun to hear the songs, and they get famous people to sing them, and like I said, The Whale Who Wanna Sing at the Met is the best part of the film.
Well, this one has two shorts that rival each other.
Peter and the Wolf is
Peter and the Wolf, and, The Whale Who Wanted to Sing at the Met, and I remember seeing these as a kid.
Peter and the Wolf is Sterling Holloway, who's Pooh Bear.
Peter and the Wolf?
Yeah,
you're right, he narrates
it. So Pooh Bear does it, so that's fun.
Yeah. Alright, Melody Time.
I like this one a lot too. It has...
Play It on the Samba.
Yeah, Play It on the Samba, I love that one. You get the famous organist Ethel Smith during it, and they mix live action with animation that part. Yeah. It's as catchy as Hell Song, and the Andrews Sisters sing it.
We also
and Johnny Appleseed with The Great Dennis Day.
Yeah. Little toots in this one. I remember seeing that
again with the Andrews Sisters.
I think I saw it as a kid. I definitely remember from Make My Music. I saw Johnny Fedora and Alice Boobon. I saw that as a kid. I like
that one. That's a cute one. And Pesco's Bill with Roy Rogers.
Yep. All right. Well, we talked a little bit about Fun and Fancy Free.
Yeah. Both entertaining, beautifully animated films. Narrated by Dinah Shore for the first half, and Edgar Bergen for the second half. So it's very two different personalities, but they really become the story. Because you get to hear Dinah Shore sing, you get to hear Edgar Bergen and narrate while Charlie McCarthy makes wisecracks. So it's two different ones, but it's a lot of fun watching.
Yeah, and the shorts aren't like so. They are in the same tone, so it's not like you get a whiplash when you watch it, compared to the other ones, which were more episodic. So you'd be like, you'd go from one more artistic cartoon to a more funny cartoon, and then to a more jazzy cartoon. So it was a little like, it felt like an episode.
And they're really getting more towards their 50s, what we associate with their 50s style of animation here. And some of the like the dream sequence with Bongo, that's a very 50s one they did. And it's very lovely to look at. And you get to hear Dinah Shore sing it. So
that's true. That. Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad.
These are two different ones.
Yeah. But so you get this is the Whiplash one.
Yeah. But they're both good.
And Bing Crosby, we got Bing Crosby,
and Basil Rathbone does. Basil Rathbone does Mr. Toad, Wind in the Willows, and Bing Crosby does Adventures of Ichabod. So So you get to see two very different stories.
Yeah. I know that this is one a lot of kids were afraid of.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't blame them. But
well, yeah, because the Sleepy Hollow story.
Yeah, that's the one I'm obviously talking about. Kids weren't afraid of Winnie
yeah,
Willows.
Yeah, Winnie Willows is not scary in the least. But it's that's a funny sequence. Seeing Eric Bloor is the Toad. So that is as perfect as voice
perfect casting
as you can get. But yeah,
like if you read the book as a kid, I didn't. Yeah, but I've seen cartoons as a kid.
Yeah, I've read it. Washington Irving.
Yeah, I think that you're like, wow, Eric Bloor would be really good.
Yeah. yeah. Oh wait, I thought we were talking about Sleepy Hollow. Washington Irving.
We're talking about.
I know. Sorry. Yeah. I didn't read the book. I've read obviously Legend of Sleepy Hollow because Washington Irving, and he's kind of a big jam around the New England area. But yeah, so both very different. One's really funny, one's really eye-opening, and Bing Crosby does the whole thing of Legend of Sleepy Hollow. So,
all right, the one that made Disney a bunch of money and put them back on track, Cinderella.
This is one of my favorite princess ones.
Yeah, mine too.
And the animation is it is a fairy tale, like the way the animation is done, and I love the little mouse characters.
Me too. They're Jacques and Gus.
And they actually, they actually managed to make Cinderella.
This was another one. There were two of them. I remember. I was young.
Yeah, I remember. And Cinderella is a very likable heroine. So yeah, and the songs are as famous as they come from the Disney canon. Obviously, Bippity Boppity Boo,
very artistic.
A Dream is a Wish Your Heart Makes.
Yeah. All right, Alice in Wonderland.
A lot of fun to watch, especially as a kid. This was just fun to sit back and just see the little creatures interact with each other. The songs are very underrated, and the animation gorgeous, absolutely.
And I said, like, as a kid, I was never like, oh, go back to this part, go back to this part. I was with it the whole way.
Absolutely. Yeah. And
even though it is more episodic for Disney in the 50s. But like, I wasn't like...
It'd be hard to make it not episodic.
Because the story is like that.
Yeah. But it's an incredibly interesting film to watch. I mean, it's definitely entertaining. Just seeing, again, these creatures, because it must have been difficult reading Alice in Wonderland and being like, what does this creature look like? But, so you got to see their imaginations run wild with this, and a lot of good voices too.
Yeah, no one could top the way they do the Cheshire Cat.
Yeah, done by Sterling Holloway, as he's often in these, and you also have Richard Hayden and Ed Wynn's voices as well.
Yeah. Peter Pan.
Oh, adore.
You like this one. Is this your third favorite?
It's up there. It might be Lady and the Tramp actually, but but I always love this one because when I was little, I wanted to be Wendy. Everybody likes Tinkerbell.
Tinkerbell's a bitch.
She's mean to Wendy, so I didn't like her.
I like that Tinkerbell does realize the error of her ways.
Yeah,
but she's such a bitch. I was like, as a kid, I always...
Yeah, no, I loved Wendy.
I didn't realize how bitchy she was, but I always found Tinkerbell off-putting.
I always do, because I said it, I love Wendy.
Yeah.
It's just that simple. But I love Peter Pan, too, the character, and Bobby Driscoll does the voice for him, and it's just, very charming. Just
you loved Wendy. You know who my favorite character was? The TikTok crocodile.
I love her too. And Hans Conried's having a ball as Captain Hook.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
He's hilarious.
The comedy with Captain Hook makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Like it made me laugh as a kid.
This is a funny film.
Yeah. And you got Droopy doing Smee.
Yep.
All right, Lady and the Tramp. You said this might be your third.
It's so cute. And I love the turn of the century look of it.
Every time I read about this one, I'm like, it seems like it is. I think Disney's closest movie to being like a high class 1950s rom-com.
Yeah, because they were very big at the time.
Yeah. And a lot of them took place at the turn of the century, and they had like the similar kind of humor, like the quirky characters they'd run into.
Kind of like The Matchmaker.
Yeah.
And I think it's amazing that one of the greatest love stories in movies is done between two dogs.
Yeah. I know, it's on the AFI Passion list.
But it's basically, you could see this movie both people, but it just happens to be with dogs.
Yeah. Right, Sleeping Beauty. One of the best climaxes in old Disney.
The animation is absolutely stunning. the way they do the trees, I mean,
Yeah.
this is like it is like a picture book.
This is, I think, the first one where they derived away from the traditional style animation. They made it a bit more, they did a bit more style to it, and I think
this one scared me. I mean, I still watched it. I mean,
it scared me.
When I was scared, I wouldn't stop watching things, but I mean, so it did scare me, but in a good way.
Maleficent scared me as a kid.
Yeah. And she's just as good as they ever did with the villain.
Yeah.
Or a villain in general, maybe.
Yeah. And, I mean, it's one where, it's like Cinderella, where the supporting cast is where the personality is. But, especially, well, in this, they don't feel like the supporting cast, the fairies feel like the main characters, which I mean, good for them for putting the focus on the interesting characters, in this, but yeah. I think, like, I'd say it's a couple of Cinderella, but I think the climax makes it, I think the climax is one of the best Disney ever did.
Absolutely.
Alright. 101 Dalmatians. When I was a kid, this one was, this was my movie as a kid, one of them.
And the voice of it is the great Rod Taylor, so.
As Pongo.
The first time you had, like, a huge celebrity being a voice.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is a year after he became a star, this was released. And beforehand, they got, like, great actors, but they never got, like, a
character
star.
Actors,
like, somebody who was, built above the title, big name, big heartthrob, too, you don't see him.
Yeah, and at this time, they really didn't use a lot of them. We're going to get to another one later, but as a villain, but with this one, this really is a landmark for voice acting. I mean, again, he has a very recognizable voice, so it's not like, let's just get who's big now. No, they get people who they like the voice of.
What I also like with this one, like with Sleeping Beauty, is the stylized animation to it. Again, venturing.
Speaking of which, our dog is barking now.
Venturing away from the typical Disney style animation again, and making it more like it feels like it's something New Yorker-esque.
Yeah,
and I think
Bill Peet did a lot, had a hand in it, and you could definitely tell.
I forgot that because it looks so much like
Bill Peet. You could definitely tell.
Yeah. All right, and The Sword and the Stone.
Well, I just won a lot as a kid.
Yeah.
It is this one's episodic.
It is, but in this one is one. Whereas I didn't do a Alice in Wonderland as a kid, I always looked forward to specific scenes. In this one, like the wizarding duel was my favorite scene in the movie.
Yeah,
and I think that's most kids' favorite scene, and it's probably my favorite scene now.
When they were fish and when they were squirrels.
Yeah, that's.
But I remember with Arthur, since they called him Ward, I was like, because he's their Ward. I was like, is his name Ward or is it Arthur?
Also, as a kid, it confused the hell out of me because Arthur's voice actor is going through he's going through puberty. We have a younger brother. We don't have older siblings. So I didn't know what the hell puberty was. I didn't know that it changed your voice. So watching this, I was confused as hell. I was like, how is his voice doing that? I was like, did they get two people to do it?
I was thinking someone else clearly voiced him here.
Yeah, I think we even would joke about it as a kid. We're like, oh, the other voice actor just showed up.
Same person. Yeah. Although I guess it would be realistic that the character himself would be going through puberty too.
All right.
I also like the one part where the wolf is following them.
I like that
so too. Funny.
Yeah. The wolf is a great character.
Yeah.
All right. The Jungle Book.
So here we get to more stars.
Yeah, and we watched this one a lot as a kid.
Yeah. And again, we get to more stars. We have Phil Harris, Sebastian Cabot.
Yep.
Louis Prima, and most famously George Sanders.
And Sterling Holloway.
Oh yeah, obviously Sterling Holloway because he has to be in these because he's awesome. But yeah, George Sanders is Shere Khan. And this is again maybe another time they got a really big star.
And this is I mean, I think it's perfect. It's one of the best casting Disney ever did. Casting George Sanders.
Oh my god, yeah.
He has the best voice in the business.
Well, his brother, Tom Conway, did some work there because he's in 101 Dalmatians and Peter Pan.
Yes.
But they said, when they animated Shere Khan, they joked, oh, he looks like George Sanders. They're like, oh my god, let's get George Sanders. I wonder who they would have got him if it wasn't for that stroke of genius, because it really adds to the character.
And this is also when this might be...
You get the best voice ever as a voice.
Exactly. And as the villain, that's awesome. And I think that this might be the Sherman Brothers' most notable musical songs out of their library.
Do wanna be like you.
Alright. The Aristocats. You liked this one as a kid.
And you have Ava Gabor, Phil Harris again.
This one's super episodic.
It is. the songs are a lot of fun. Everybody Wants to Be a Cat's a showstopper.
I remember when we watched this again not too long ago, I was like, holy shit, like, the, girl cat Marie is annoying.
I liked her as a little girl, yeah.
I liked, Toulouse. I liked him as a kid. But, yeah, I remember, because, like, the movie would be over so much quicker if it wasn't for her. Alright.
Well, that butler, why would he think that his mistress would give the money to him? I don't know why he would suddenly jump to that conclusion, but...
Well, alright. Robin Hood, I like this one a lot.
Again, you have Phil Harris again.
And you got, Peter Ustinov and Terry Thomas as the villains. That is amazing. I could listen to them all day.
I always really liked them as kids. They were my favorite part of the
I remember Terry Thomas's snake. We loved as a kid. Like everything he did, we thought was hilarious.
I know. And we still think Terry Thomas is hilarious in general.
Yeah. And Prince John sucking his
phone. Yeah, I know.
It's
such a crybaby.
Perfect for Peter Ustinov. Like, that's a character that while you were writing, you were like, Peter Ustinov should have this part.
It's really kid-friendly, but I think adults can get a kick out of it just knowing who voices them.
Yeah. And, Pat Buttram is a sheriff in Nottingham, yeah. I'm trying to... Obviously, we got...
Because he would be a voice later in other films, too.
Obviously, we have Andy Devine. And he is the Friar Tuck in this,
So obviously people with the most recognizable voices ever.
Yeah. Alright, Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, and this was our jam.
My heart goes out to this one.
We were super into Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, we were our two big things were Mickey Mouse and Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah. Yep.
Those are the things.
And I think
we had so many Pooh Bear toys.
We did. We had like all the characters. I remember
because also it was a big show when we were little too.
Yeah, it was. The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh was on when we were a kid, and that was one. That was the as a kid, most of our favorite cartoons were primetime cartoons. They weren't Saturday morning cartoons, but that was a cartoon that I liked to get up early and watch when I was a kid. I was always bummed when I didn't catch it, and we had a lot of them on VHS.
Oh yes,
yeah, a lot of them.
Probably somewhere around.
They are in the days when I saw them, but So, I think that,
and we loved the books too.
Yeah. Just everything Winnie the Pooh. So honestly, this movie does it for us. But
I don't think I can even look at it without a nostalgic taste. But
I have nostalgic goggles when I see this movie.
It's funny that we've seen so many of these so many times, but it's Pooh Bear that we just really probably have the most nostalgia for.
Yeah, well, it's because just everything Pooh Bear is very nostalgic to us. I mean, we had the computer games, we had video games, we had...
There's no end to what we owned with Pooh Bear on it.
If there was a type of entertainment or media with Pooh Bear on it, we probably had a version of it.
Or toys or clothing,
Oh, I had all my clothing. I was like,
you look at old pictures of us. We have Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh and Snoopy was a big one too.
Yeah.
My favorite shirt I remember was Snoopy,
and then we had Mickey too.
Pooh. Yeah. Yep.
So yeah.
Right. The Rescuers. Let's say the best character in it.
Evan Rude.
The whole movie was Evan Rude. I would
that'd be like my favorite movie of all of them.
This is one that I feel.
And like for your blog, you got a picture. Made sure to get a picture of them with Evan Rude.
Yes, I did. I had to get Evan Rude.
I know.
This is another one with great voices, especially Geraldine Page as Medusa.
And you have Ava Gabor and Bob Newhart.
Yeah, who doesn't love Ava Gabor and Bob Newhart?
I know, who doesn't? Because then you don't like Green Acres and the Bob Newhart show. You can get out of here.
Yeah, you can just leave now. But I think this isn't. It's interesting that they adopted the Miss Bianca books. I didn't read the books as a kid, but
obviously as a kid I liked this because her name was Bianca, and nobody's name was Bianca in anything.
I remember. We'll get to Rescuers Down Under in a bit, but our brother's name is Jonathan, but his nickname's Jake, and
people don't even know his name's Jonathan. Everybody calls him Jake.
But guess what? In Rescuers Down Under, there are 3 mice. One's named Bianca, the other one's named Jake. So when we played Rescuers as a kid, guess who I had to be? I had Bernard. I had to take the default character, and I was bummed because I'm like, I'm not in this movie. My siblings are, and I'm not. Alright.
I remember people would call me Miss Bianca.
Yeah. But from The Rescuers, the thing I take most from it is Evan Rood,
my
the
heart and
dragonfly.
soul.
Yeah.
He doesn't talk, he just makes that and he's so cute.
Yeah. Alright, Fox and the Hound, this is one of my favorites.
I cried.
It's the only movie that, because Bianca's a crier and I'm not, but this is the only movie that every time I see it, I cry. And not just like a tear, I like,
the whole second half of the movie, I'm crying during it. Even if it's a happy moment, I'm still like, it's like,
I'm like, yeah.
It's like after Since You Went Away when Robert Walker died, I'm like, no, you aren't allowed to be happy. Robert is dead.
Where you mourn more than they do, yeah.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, this one, second from the halfway point to the end, I'm in tears.
Yeah.
And those of you who've seen it, you know what scene we're talking about, but yeah.
I can't even talk about it.
Yeah. Where I'll just mention she drops him when she has to send him to the forest. Yeah, no, we won't talk about it, but to me, but I like this one a lot. And I, like, even though it makes me cry, I always watch it, and every time I watch it, I'm like, I'm not gonna cry this time when I do.
And voices include Kurt Russell, Mickey Rooney, and Pearl Bailey.
Yeah, and, yeah, awesome, right? Oh, and we also have, Jack Albertson.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Right, that's Jack Albertson, right?
I think you're right.
Yeah. I was like, yeah.
And Pat Butram again.
Yep.
He's in The Rescuers as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Alright, speaking of great voices, we have The Great Mouse Detective.
This is a fun one, too.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. The climax especially is excellent in Big Ben.
Yeah. I mean, this really captures the essence of the Sherlock Holmes character from the Basil Rathbone days. His name's even Basil.
I like that.
I know. And obviously, the best part of this film is the villain,
Vincent Price.
Oh my god, he's having the time of his life.
Probably the only voice actor villain combo to compete with George Sanders. George Sanders as Shere Khan is Vincent Price as Ratigan. Always remember that song.
Oh, Ratigan! I think he even said this was like one of his favorite movies.
It was his favorite.
He's having so much fun doing it. So how can you have fun watching it?
Yeah. Another one where great voices are probably the big part of it. Oliver and Company.
Oh my god, how many times did we watch this?
We've seen. This is the first
DVD we ever bought.
We bought our DVD player. We were 9, going on 10, and our parents said we were in Target, and our parents said you can pick any movie here that you want, and I remember Jake picked The Rocketeer, and we picked Oliver and Company. Yep. And the next film we got was Emperor's New Groove, which we'll get to, but
love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one has Billy Joel, Bette Midler.
Uh-huh. And we got Cheech too.
Oh yeah, he's so funny as Tito.
That's the funniest character in the movie.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I think just as a Billy Joel fan, I really like Billy Joel as Artful Dodger here, and I like.
And Bette Midler can do no wrong.
She can do no wrong, yeah. She totally gets into this. I know. Yeah. We also have Dom DeLuise in this one. Weird seeing him out of a movie directed by Don Bluth. I do think.
Yeah, because he's in all of them. But yeah.
But Why Should I Worry is such a great song. Yeah.
And I like seeing Oliver Twist done in modern day with animals. That's an interesting premise.
Yeah, I like it. I don't think they take it where it should go. Like now when I watched it, I noticed that. Like as a kid, I didn't care.
Oliver Twist is scary. Yeah. This one isn't, so yeah.
It's a little scary.
Oh, at the ending, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think they take the story where it needs to go. When I this is when I watch it now. As a kid, I didn't notice any of this stuff clearly because I've seen it a bazillion times. All right. A big one, the one that started the Renaissance, Little Mermaid.
When I was little, I was obsessed with this.
I was like, this is one that
I think every little girl my age probably was obsessed with.
I wasn't, but no, I was.
That's not you. No.
Yeah, I liked this movie as a kid, but I wasn't like. The princess movies didn't do as much for me. I was like a 101 Dalmatians, Jungle Book type of kid. I liked the animal ones.
I liked all of them.
Well, I know, but you really liked the princess ones, just being one of them. And I gravitated more towards the animal ones. But
I liked The Lion King a lot too, though.
Well, The Lion King was our favorite movie growing up. You'll see. We'll get there. You'll see why. But all right. But this one has some obviously great tunes. Kiss the Girl was my favorite song in it as a kid. And
And Part of Your World is such a sad song too. I like that one.
But the animation on this, holy shit, it's good.
Yeah, they really
they upped the ante.
They found their own niche now, and they were going to use it.
From the 60s, in the 60s, 70s, and 80s before The Little Mermaid, they were known for cheaping out on animation. Because
they didn't have as much money.
They didn't have as much money, but they put their all into this. You don't, there's none of that cheap stock animation. Yeah. It's, and it succeeded, and it put them where they needed to be. I say when I wrote this, I said Walt would have been proud. Yeah. I think he would have liked this movie.
Well, they were planning on doing this in the 40s too.
I think he would have liked the product of this. I think so. Watching this, he would have.
No, it is very Walt-esque.
Yeah, I think it is. All right, one that's super underappreciated, but one we've seen a bunch as a kid. As a kid, we saw this one more than the original Rescuers Down Under. And we watched the original a lot. Yeah, we watched this one more.
This one's a sequel better than the original, even though Evan Root isn't in it.
That's the only serious issue I have with it.
But John Candy's in it,
and George C. Scott as the villain. So another great
that helps make up for it.
Yeah, and we have
a new favorite character though, Joanna.
Yes. Exactly, and Evan Root doesn't talk but makes these noises.
The Komodo dragon, Joanna.
Yes, and we also have a great character in the Frizz Lizard.
I love him too.
I always liked him, but Joanna is. If we can't have Evan Root, at least we have Joanna, and I'm happy with that. But the animation in this, it's stunning. It's especially in the beginning, when it opens, it grabs you. The animation, the way it zooms in. I don't understand how kids didn't run to see this, because as a kid, we loved this. And I still go back to watch it. I like it that much.
I
go back to watch all of these, but this one, I always enjoy going back to watch. So I'm going to laugh and have fun with this.
When I was little, I wanted to go to Australia because of this film.
Yeah. All right. One of the big ones of the Renaissance, Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, definitely their most artistic and best one of the time.
I think
a lot of people probably say The Lion King. No, it's Beauty and the Beast. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Like I said before, I switched to Snow White. This is what I would have said my favorite princess movie was. But even then, it would probably be after Snow White, maybe.
Yeah,
if Cinderella doesn't take.
I like this one a lot.
Me too. I think that
I never get sick of it.
I do, and I've seen this. I've seen a lot of versions of it. I like the French one a lot. Obviously, who doesn't? I think that this
is up there for Disney movies I've seen the most.
Yeah, and I think it's up there for Beauty and the Beast version. I think it might be tied with the Cocktail version.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's saying something, but the animation is beautiful. The songs are great.
Yeah.
And we have other great voices. We got Angela Lansbury in the mix in this one. And I think that it's enjoyable and it's charming. It's likable. And I know that this is a lot of people's favorite, and I don't
I'm not gonna be like, you're dumb. No, I love this one too. I'm not gonna
say that really for any of these.
No, but I love that one too.
All right. We did this play in middle school, Aladdin.
And it's just so much fun to watch, too. This one's a funny one.
This one's really funny because we got Robin Williams. Woo! Bianca loves Robin Williams.
Because he's Mork from Orc.
Yeah. I mentioned in my blog when I wrote about these, I said, today, as far as Arabian Nights movies go, I prefer, Douglas Fairbanks' Thief of Baghdad and The Seven Voyages of Sinbad and movies like that.
And the film is clearly inspired by the 1940 version of The Thief of Baghdad. Obviously. Jafar even looks like Conrad by it.
He was modeled after him.
Yeah, they clearly make him look like him.
But I do still think this one's enjoyable.
Yeah.
I think, even though now, if I want to watch something Arabian Nights, that's gonna pop in Douglas Fairbanks or something.
But it's just more self-aware. It's like 1001 Nights.
It is.
It's like that if it weren't an animated movie.
It's like they saw that and they're like, we should run.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think...
And again, they have the man born 1,000 years too early with Phil Silvers. And that's kind of like the genie here. So.
Yeah. And, I mean, it's... And also the songs, and we had to sing these songs in the play over and over again. And,
and we're not sick of them!
We were also in this play with our brother, and it was fun because we all got something to do in the play. We didn't have any serious parts, but... you probably know the line, I'd blame parents except he hasn't got them.
That was her.
That was me, except I had to say it with a voice. I blame parents except he hasn't got them.
And she wore a fat suit.
I did. What are you talking about? That was my real body.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Everyone, I remember it, There are no small parts to small actors. I made that part more than it could have been, and I'm no actor, but yeah. As you can clearly see, if you've ever heard me, like, you have to like orate, like do an oral. I'm good with oral presentations, but when and like reading out loud, but in some situations when I have to, it sounds awkward. Like you can hear like I'm pushing through my uncomfort. Yeah. But yeah, that was fun. That's what I think. That's also because like when I talk about Aladdin, I'm like I like other movies more because I had so much fun doing the play that when I watch the movie, I just keep thinking about the play.
Yeah.
One of your favorites it's considered a Disney movie now, so we will talk about it. It wasn't originally a Disney movie, but now it is, and it has a cult of movie fans, and Bianca is very much in this cult, and it is A Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, this was my favorite movie when I was little.
Yeah, it was.
For a while. So obviously it holds a very dear spot in my heart, and I can't even look at it with rose-colored glasses. Not that you would need it to see the amazingness that it is.
Yeah, you like Tim Burton in general, but this was always to you.
Well, I like him at this time.
Yeah, I know
he needs to get back on track, but yeah.
I mean good Tim Burton.
I know, yeah. Mean, like, you mean Beetlejuice and Edward Scissorhands, Batman, obviously.
But I like as a kid, I obviously saw this a lot because you watched it all the time. But my favorite part in the movie was always this is Halloween. Yeah, I always liked that.
Danny Elfman does the songs, and they're fantastic. Yeah. Jack's Lantern was Lantern.
Yeah, Lament. Yeah.
Yeah, Jack's Lament was my favorite.
You also got a like Oogie Boogie song. Yeah. Oogie Boogie song, and I mean, there's a lot of great music in this. Yeah. Yeah. But what's it? Yeah. But I mean, the really exaggerated like stop motion style animation is great.
It is.
Okay, if you will ask anyone my age who grew up in the Renaissance what their favorite Disney movie is, they will all say The Lion King. And if you asked me when I was 10, when I was 15, or when I was 5, what my favorite Disney movie was, I would have said The Lion King. And you would have too. Yeah. And again, we like Timon and Pumbaa as kids because there were 2 of them. I was Timon, you were Pumbaa.
And Nathan Lane will never not be funny.
Exactly. Nathan Lane makes unfunny lines funny, but not that.
And he's naturally funny in general.
Yeah, but also I think up there with Vincent Price as Ratigan and George Sanders as Shere Khan, we got Jeremy Irons as Scar, and he is perfect.
Real and an actor in the league of the Sanders and the Price, like very similar to that.
We also have another perfect voice in James Earl Jones as Mufasa.
One of the greatest voices ever. Yeah, along with George Sanders.
Yeah. So I mean, we have 2 brilliant voices. Oh yeah. As these 2 towering figures in the movie, and it's still fun.
And probably one reason why we look at this like a little down now is because we saw the Broadway show. So
like a lot of people.
Yeah. So we liked that more.
We liked that so much.
Yeah, we realized it was better then. Yeah.
Yeah, we even liked the music better on the Broadway stage, like the way they sang it, and But I think the animation on this is fantastic, and when I the last time I watched it, when I did watch it, I was like, that really is a great movie. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't consider it mediocre. I think it's a great movie, but I don't think it's Disney at their best anymore, but I think it's a great movie.
And it's noticeably more juvenile than the ones before. Yeah. Like, you don't see that kind of stuff in Beauty and the Beast or Aladdin, really.
Yeah. I mean, which,
like, it seems like they're pandering to younger audiences in some parts.
Clearly they are, because as a kid I loved this. So, yeah. And then when I got older, not so much. And the play doesn't do that as much.
No, it doesn't. Actually, it doesn't do that at all.
Yeah, it's definitely
very adult, actually, the play.
Yeah. But animation-wise, I think the spectacle of it still looks really nice. And, the wildebeest scene is fantastic. Mm-hmm.
The score is
some of the best ever.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. I think I think the score might be better than some of the songs.
It kind of recalls Bambi too, how it combines sounds.
Yes, I like that.
The Swahili chorus.
Yeah. Yeah, and Elton John did the songs.
Yes, he did.
I like Elton John. So
Yep.
You do too.
We are an Elton John family.
We are. Like,
we are.
Car rides as a kid. Billy Joel and Elton John are both.
We just mentioned Billy Joel too. So yeah.
That's why I mentioned it.
Yeah.
A lot of other bands, but those those were two that we definitely grew up on. All right. Next one is one that we loved as a kid, too. A Goofy movie.
There are two types of people. People who love a Goofy movie and people who didn't see a Goofy movie.
Yes. I think that...
Who doesn't want a movie with just Goofy?
I think that, Goof Troop was on when we were kids, so we did watch it. But I think, you don't have to even be familiar with that show to get into this.
It skips ahead in years.
It's not really the show. It's more, a coming-of-age story.
And I think everyone can relate to this on a level, because
this movie is honestly super relatable.
It is. Because when you're, like, our age, you relate to Max, and when you get older, you can relate to Goofy.
And you can see where, no matter what age you are, you see where both are coming from.
Yeah, they both make a lot of sense with their arguments. Yeah. I mean, because you understand Max, that he wants to just be left alone. He doesn't want to grow up to be like his father. Not that he's, like, ashamed of him, but he wants to be his own person, and he doesn't want to spend summer with his father. Wants to
who doesn't blame him for that?
Yeah, he wants to spend it with his friends, and he wants to go to a concert, while Goofy just wants to spend time with his son before he gets to lose him to college.
And I think that, this movie is very funny. It's super relatable. I think that more people need to go back and watch it. Like, I know that people my age love it and they won't say anything bad about it, but I think that, if you didn't, like, grow up with it as a kid like we did, if you were, like, older for it, go back and check it out.
You're really going to get a lot out of it.
Yeah. I think that it's...
Who would think that a movie called The Goofy Movie would really resonate with a lot of people?
Yeah, who think they would even put all that stuff in it and have it, like, pretty much, and have it work pretty well, too.
Yeah.
Alright. Next one, Pocahontas. I'd say... visually and musically, it's good. I'd say the story needs a lot of work. Narrative is a problem.
Yeah, the animation is very
This isn't even getting into the whole historical stuff, because I don't care if it's historically accurate. It's a Disney movie. I don't care, but also...
It's visually an eyeful, that's for sure.
Visually, I think that the real problem is the script just doesn't match what we see on the screen and what we hear, like, with the music.
It doesn't know if it wants to be a mature adult film or a film
kid for kids, because they seem like they want to have their cake and eat it too with both, but it just feels a little awkward, because you'll go from one very, like,
See, a Goofy movie managed to accomplish that, and Pocahontas did it.
Who knew? Who would have thunk, Again, I don't care about historical accuracies, and when you go back and watch it when you're older, the way it uses, like, it deals with race and things is a bit like...
Yeah, they could have done a lot better.
They could have done better with the cultures, and I know, because they do better with it now.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, they do.
It's,
But the songs are pretty memorable.
The songs are great.
Yeah, like just around the riverbed. We would always sing that when we were little.
Color of the Wind. I mean, those are good songs. Color of the Wind won an Oscar.
Yeah. And I like the animal sidekicks too, because they're silent.
And they're cute.
Yeah, I mean, they do pander to kids, but they're cute and fun to watch. And again,
this came out when I was a kid. Yeah. I was 2 when
but because of the racial issues, I think they deal with the little kid friendly stuff much better than the adult stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
That's why I like this little side characters. Yeah, probably better.
I think that if you this is one that if you just want to listen to some beautiful songs and just sit back and look at beautiful animation, you'll like it. But yeah, it's one that we have the benefit of growing up with it.
We do.
The story aspects and the racial aspects didn't even resonate with us. We just saw funny animals and we saw, like, cool songs that we could sing in the car, and so we liked it.
An early memory I have is Jay coming up to me and saying, like, we're gonna take this back to the store. Mom and Dad said so because we owned it. And I started crying, saying, no, they're not gonna take Pocahontas away. And he was just lying to make me cry, because that's the kind of brother we have.
We did that shit all the time to him too. So
we did. Come on, Jake, it's okay. You can get in the bathtub with your diaper on.
Once he did, Mom, Jake got in the tub. Can you believe it? He's such an idiot. How dare, like, a kid that's, like,
a toddler.
Yeah. All right. So, while it feels, to me, I do look at Pixar and Disney completely different. Well, do you want to talk about Pixar?
I guess we could, because it's animation. I mean, it's computer animation, which we don't like as much, but it's animation.
When Pixar does it, we're okay with it. More so than other studios. Yeah.
Well, I just don't like that every movie does it. Pixar, they always did it.
Yeah,
it's so different.
Of course, it makes sense that they do it. And same, I guess you could say the same with DreamWorks. But why can't we just have hand-drawn animation? I know. Hollywood hand-drawn animation. Come on.
You could even use some CGI. I mean, you could obviously do it with computers, like the way The Simpsons do it.
Yeah. Do you want to just talk about all 3 Toy Story movies first?
They're awesome, and I love them.
They're my favorites out of the whole Pixar canon. They're the ones I
The second one especially, because it's the funniest one.
I think it's the funniest one, and it's the one as a kid granted I didn't grow up with the third one, obviously. I was in high school when that came out, but I think that these are the ones I always like going back to. Like, we always... And especially the second one, we watched the second one a lot, and I always laughed at it, and I liked.
They're all really funny.
They're all really funny, and they're all really creative, and they're really smart, and they're all really fun. I think the second one is the best of all. And
Tom Hanks is the perfect Woody.
Yeah. Sorry, that was juvenile of me. You're even looking at me like, shit, you fucking idiot. But,
talking about the character. God.
I know, I'm stupid. Anyway.
You love Woody, Virginia. You love the character Woody.
I do love the character Woody. I love all the characters in this. And I think that that's what I think really makes a lot of the Toy Story movies, is every character is fun.
Yeah.
And I think that with each edition, they definitely did a good job adding characters. And, I got a lot out of the third one when we saw it in the theater because it was we were in high school, but we were getting close to college.
We were one of the people they were clearly targeting.
Yeah, and we loved that. We grew up with these, so we were in Andy's shoes. We loved that with these movies, and I think that is. I don't understand why they're doing another one, because that's the perfect way to end it.
I know.
If it's as good as the other ones, I won't complain, but if it's not, then please leave it alone, please. Or if this is the perfect trilogy,
or can it at least be like a prequel, like not like take it to because it's the perfect way to end it. So at least don't keep going. Yeah, maybe go back.
But also, all 3 movies are great. It's not like a trilogy where there's a sour note in it. Yeah. It's like Star Wars, they're all great.
Yeah, and then
the original trilogy.
Then you had to ruin them, but they got back on track.
See, that's what I'm afraid of. Now. I'm like, granted, Indiana Jones wasn't perfect, but you had one lull and then 2. One. Well, I mean, not like the movie was terrible, but it wasn't as good as the other 2. But then
obviously,
and I'm afraid of that happening with these movies.
Like the second one was still Indiana Jones. The fourth one is just not.
It's sci-fi Jones. Yeah. All right. Next one, Hunchback of Notre Dame.
I think this is some of their best animation at the time.
Animation and score. This is one.
Oh my god, I love the score.
This is one that, like Pocahontas, animation scores are fantastic.
Yeah.
I think. And the narrative is one that, because as a kid, a lot of it went over my head. Yeah. And when I went back to watch it, I was like, oh, this is actually
pretty good.
Yeah, the narrative's not bad. It has flaws, for sure.
Obviously, it's not as good as Charles Lawton's.
No, that will always be the best. Yeah, nothing will top it ever. But
this one's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I think its flaws are noticeable. It's not like one where you can overlook the flaws. This one is one where the flaws do stick out.
Yeah,
I think that
I think the songs are beautiful. Out there, that one always just got to me.
The songs in the animation are with Pocahontas, and that's to pull you in.
And this is one where the adult moments actually work.
Where we said with Pocahontas, the kid moments work and the adult moments.
This is the opposite here.
Of this. The adult moments are the best part of it, and the kid moments are not very good.
Yeah. But Kevin Kline's in it, so it's automatically
good.
And better than movies without Kevin Kline.
As we say,
yeah.
It's just
because we love Kevin Kline. If you haven't noticed, we love him.
Who doesn't? Anyone who's ever seen a Fish Called Wanda will have nothing but love for Kevin Kline. Alright, next we have Hercules, and this is another one.
It's really funny.
This was funny. This is another one where it's a mixed bag.
Yeah.
the flaws stick out, but there's things that work in it. We have another fantastic
my
villain, and we have James Woods as Hades.
He's having so much fun. He actually said he loved this. He'd say, "I would play Hades anytime, anywhere."
Can he? Because this is hilarious. I think that
I want a whole Hades movie.
Me too. Can they do that?
Please.
And make it animated like this. Yeah. Don't do CGI. Do this anyway. Well, this has the character of Meg is good.
Yeah, I like her.
So
she's actually real. You know, she's not like, I'm a pretty princess. Yeah.
And her song is the best song in the movie. I won't say I'm in love.
No way.
Say it. But some of the choices in this movie are weird. Yeah. I mean, like, it's interesting that they wanted to do, like, sort of, like, the athlete journey with the hero's journey in this. I mean, not a bad idea, but it's, like, I feel like they don't go the whole way with it. And they don't go the distance with it, so what I did there.
Online, Lindsay, she used to be the nostalgia chick, she said, she calls it a hot mess.
She does, yeah. Her video essay on it's pretty good. And I think that it's one that, like, you can watch it and laugh and have fun, but, like, you know, don't expect, like, a serious movie-going experience. And I think that, no matter how old you are, whether you're a kid or an adult, you'll get a lot out of Hades in this, because it's so funny. A lot of fun. Like, the way the way
some of the modern pop culture references are pretty funny.
Yeah, I thought so.
Like, creative. I mean, they're not like, look, flat out.
Yeah.
But they kind of connect them to Greek mythology, which is pretty funny.
I think that's why they do a god. I think it's pretty, like, I know some people are like, why do they do a gospel soundtrack? I think it's pretty obvious. It's about gods. So they, like, make it all up in church and here and stuff. And I think, and I'm like,
it sounds good. Who cares?
Yeah, like, that's actually an interesting idea. I just, you know, I think they should have made it, like, at least so, you know, a little more acceptable to the general audience by making it maybe a bit more clear. But I think the idea,
at least it sounds good.
Yeah, it does. You have Charlton Heston doing the opening narration for 2 seconds.
Yeah, there's just a lot of random moments.
Yeah. Because it's more humorous than anything else. Yeah,
except
for Meg's story, which actually is pretty good.
And it excels on the humor, so that's good.
Yeah. It's just one that was made to sit back and watch.
Yeah, it is.
Alright, let's talk about one of our favorites.
Oh, yes.
Mulan.
Oh my, I remember when we first saw this in the movie theater.
And it has one of the best Disney songs of all time. It's up there with, like, the Bambi songs.
I'll make a man out of you.
I'll make a man out of you. I can listen to this all day, man.
Used to. I know, every time I always think, Daddy, rewind it. Every time I hear it.
Me too. Like, every time the song's over, I'm like, well, we have to watch it, like, 4 more times, because that's what, and I remember
Dad would have to say, okay, it's enough, it's not gonna be, we're not gonna listen to it again. Yeah. No more rewinding.
But I think the animation in this is great. Yeah. We have Eddie Murphy as Mushu. Yay! It's a lot of fun.
I know a lot of people might have fault with that, but
I don't.
We are Eddie Murphy house.
Yeah, this is
Eddie Murphy family.
Yeah. Eddie Murphy tapes in the car. All that stuff.
All the movies.
Yep. So, and I also think, also most of the voice cast are, like, you know, Asian actors.
Yeah.
So that's nice. Now, I think...
and the animation's very much like the kind of paintings you see of the time.
Chinese painting, yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's very nice, and I think this was one where the serious moments do work.
And the comedic moments work, too.
Yeah, because we got Eddie Murphy.
We finally have the perfect balance. Oh my god.
Greta, we look through this with rose-colored glasses, because this was like with The Lion King with us. It was up there with The Lion King as, like, our favorite as a kid. But
now we like it more than The Lion King.
Yeah. I go back and watch this and I can't, like, granted I have super rose-colored glasses, but I can't find a lot of fault in it.
No.
It's I honestly can't find really anything too much. I can't find anything to complain about with it because I like it too much. Alright, A Bug's Life, aka Seven Samurai with Bugs.
But it's a lot of fun because some of our favorite people are voices in this.
I think that's the big reason why we enjoy it, because I think as kids it was funny, but, like, I think we like it more now because, I think we get more of it now because of the voice actors and because we've seen, like, you know, Seven Samurai, Magnificent Seven and all that, but
Yeah, so you get Dave Foley, David Hyde Pierce, Madeline Kahn. Yeah, Roddy McDowell. It's Madeline Kahn's last film, I'm pretty sure.
A certain actor who we used to like a lot.
Yeah, that he's a villain, and normally we would be talking about him now, but we feel bad, you know?
And it has funny ideas, like Dennis Leary as a ladybug.
Yeah, that's really funny.
Yeah.
It is a funny movie.
It is funny. To me, it's one where the jokes that are about the world itself, like the world of bugs, that's the funniest. Like,
and the humor's not too juvenile either. I'm not like, oh my god, you know.
Pixar's good with that.
Yeah, they are.
I think that, like,
especially at this time.
Yeah, like when we get to when it's jokes about the bug world, that's what to me I find the funniest. Like where there's two flies at the lamp. Don't touch it! I can't help it. I mean, that's
so beautiful.
So beautiful.
Zap! Ow! It's funny. It's a funny movie.
Alright, how many Tarzan movies have we seen?
A lot. So since we've seen a lot of the ones,
this one seems really fucking good.
Obviously, it's not as good as Johnny Weissmuller.
No, but
just like how the Hunchback of Notre Dame isn't as good as the Charles Laughton one, this isn't as good as the Johnny Weissmuller one.
Yeah, unlike with Hunchback of Notre Dame, we've seen the shittiest Tarzan movies. We still have to see the 59 one, which is super shitty.
We are planning on it, don't you worry.
Yeah, we'll see it and we'll cry, but we've seen
it's funny that we love Tarzan so much, yet we won't do this to ourselves.
Yeah, but yeah.
But we appreciate the good ones even more, even though we appreciated them a lot before, but whatever.
Yeah. Granted, we haven't seen, some of the other good Tarzan movies, like from, the 70s and 80s and so forth. But,
yeah, I don't want to.
Well, I mean,
I'm scared.
Our parents say like, have you seen Greystoke? I'm like, no, and I'm like, well, Ralph Richardson isn't it, so I probably wouldn't mind.
Oh no.
And he was nominated for it, but I'm like, I'd rather not see it.
Marina Sullivan's not in it.
But since I haven't seen some of the ones like that people might like a lot, I've seen Johnny Weissmuller, and then this is probably the best one after the Johnny Weissmuller ones.
Although he has after the Johnny Weissmuller ones, the competition's pretty.
That's what I mean.
Easy.
It's not saying much,
but the movie's actually pretty good.
And again, we're gonna talk about voice actors again. Minnie Driver.
I could listen to her voice all day. I love her voice.
I enjoy listening to her so much in this. And we have Glenn Close as Tarzan's mother, who, I mean, those are great.
His adopted mother.
Yeah, his adopted mother. She's adopted?
Don't tell him.
I think he figured it out. But.
And the way they do the whole Jane, like the first time they meet is pretty good too. Like how he sees that she has a hand like his, and he finally sees someone like him. Yeah,
it's a good one. I think that it's touching in the right places. It's cute. It's funny.
It's definitely one you could rewatch a lot. Like the Johnny Weissmuller Tarzans.
And the animation they did where they based Tarzan
off skateboarding.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
I know. It looks really good.
Because it doesn't feel like we're just watching, it feels like we're watching something new and unique with it. And
they do kind of take liberties too, which is
I was going to say that this isn't like you're just watching Tarzan in animation. This is like a very different viewpoint of it, and I think it works.
The general story is the same.
Yeah, of course. But
they're still true to Johnny Weissmuller, but
you could watch this and Tarzan the Ape Man side by side and get no whiplash.
Yeah, absolutely not. Actually, it'd be a lot of fun to put those in a double feature.
I think so. Yeah. All right, Fantasia 2000.
Well, obviously, big shoes to fill, and it didn't fill them. But there's some good parts, like the Rhapsody in Blue part, the part with the whales. That's a good one. And they do the Sorcerer's Apprentice again, so there's a lot of good moments.
Yeah, this one's a lot more computer generated, and it's kind of and whereas today Fantasia still looks really good. I feel like going back to watch Fantasia 2000 now, you're like, well, some of these don't look as good as they did. Like we saw this in the theater as kids, and we liked it a lot. But and we liked it a lot as kids. We watched it a couple times. Yeah, when I go back to watch it now, it obviously aged. Yeah, it has aged. All right, the Tigger movie.
You saw this a lot.
Yeah, and I saw this in the theater. Yeah,
when I went to see my dog Skip.
Yeah, I went to see the Tigger movie with.
And I cried.
Yeah, my brother and my dad. I don't think we cried during this one, but it was. But,
so I'm over there. I'm over in the other theater, crying my heart out.
Yeah, this one. really, really just appeals to kids, I feel. But granted, if you grew up on it, you can go back and watch
it.
And
if you like Winnie the Pooh. Yeah. If your kids like Winnie the Pooh.
Like, granted, like, I don't know why they feel like Winnie the Pooh is they want to gear Winnie the Pooh in the last couple of years solely to kids. Because I feel like, you know, obviously it has an adult audience too. Why can't you do what you normally do and have it connect above, like what the old shorts did?
Well, kids would have trouble reading those books by themselves. They're pretty advanced.
The books are, like, I remember, like, when I was really young, I wanted to read the books. And we would read... We had the books at home and we would read parts of it, but a lot of it was quite advanced for us.
Yeah, and we knew how to read pretty early, but we still
I remember it was considered at a 4th grade reading level, I think, and that's around the time I read both the compilations, like, all the way through, and I liked them a lot.
And did Paul Winchell do the voice for Tigger here?
No, he did not. Okay. He retired right before the film was made, I know. I wish he did, but yeah. Alright, one I haven't seen in years, Dinosaur.
Everybody our age was scared.
They were afraid of this movie. I'm like, what was scary about it?
I wasn't scared.
I can understand being afraid of pink elephants before I understand this. This one isn't scary.
It's not.
I don't remember too well.
And I mean, I don't get scared very easily, but so maybe I'm not one to talk to about this. But you get scared pretty easily. You didn't get scared during it.
Well, as a kid, I didn't get scared easily. But even like now, you think I'm gonna get scared?
No. And it's computer generated, so it doesn't look really good.
It's aged pretty badly. Like when I see pictures of it, I'm like,
I know. I'm like, oh, okay.
Like, remember when this looked cool? It did. We saw this. Once, We saw this at the drive-thru.
Yeah.
This is along with the kid with Bruce Willis, which. That whole movie went completely over my head because I was way too young to see that. Like, even though, and we'll get to that when we get to Disney animation shortly, because again, that's a problem I have.
You mean live action?
Sorry, live action soon because that's a problem I have with it. But so,
well, and what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, CGI ages really badly.
Compare it to hand-drawn animation.
You have to be careful with how you use it. I always say, look at something like Jurassic Park. That still looks good.
Yeah. At least,
But look at something like Gladiator. That doesn't look good.
Yeah. At least, like...
You have to be careful. You have to use it sparingly.
Granted, like, the first Toy Story doesn't look as good as the third Toy Story, but I mean, it looks fine, as far as CGI, like, animation goes, that looks way better than a lot of them do.
And you love it so much, you look past it.
Yeah. It's a little washed out. Yeah. Alright. One we loved a lot as a kid. And
it's still awesome.
Yeah. We were in the perfect demographic for this one. It came out, The Emperor's New Groove.
This is one of their all-time funniest films.
Yeah. It's hilarious. And we have funny voice actors in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eartha Kitt, Patrick Warburton,
David Spade,
John Goodman, and Winnie Malik. So we got a lot of funny voices, and especially...
Yeah, that is Wendy Malick.
Yeah.
We got 2 people from Just Shoot Me. What?
Okay. Well, Yzma and Kronk and are the best. They still make me laugh like crazy. We quote this all the time. We still quote this. We were just quoting it the other day. We were. We're like, oh, he doesn't want to talk to you.
You owe me a new acorn.
What are the odds of me opening the window at this exact time? Like, all these, they're funny.
Put your hands in the air.
Well, we always say, pull the lever, Kronk. Wrong lever. Why do we even have that lever? I love how it cuts to it later. Why does she even have that lever? This movie is hilarious.
If you want a good laugh, doesn't matter what age you are, this movie is funny.
Yeah. Granted, again, rose-colored glasses. It was her second DVD, but I think it's funny.
I think,
and I hear people a bit older than me say they think it's funny. So yeah. All right, recess school's out. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either. We saw it on our birthday. I
remember the green tambourine sequence. That was all I remember. I couldn't tell you anything else about it. Alright, Atlantis the Lost Empire. I haven't seen this one since I was a kid.
I've seen it.
You went back to rewatch it. James Garner's one of the voices.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why I'm like, okay, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
The animation actually looks really good. This is one that again tries to combine adult stuff with kid stuff, and the adult stuff works, the kid stuff doesn't. The animation looks good, but it's really just some parts are way too juvenile, and the characters aren't as well.
That's how I remember.
And the only good developed character is the main character Milo, voiced by Michael J. Fox, who's a perfect voice for him.
I feel like it's the characters in it are super cliched. Like they're like from what I remember, like the supporting characters,
they are.
like you know where they're all going.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why I said Milo was the only one that's developed, because he actually has a journey to go through.
It's one of those where you're like, oh, I wonder who the villain is.
Yeah,
it's one of the, like that's what I remember of it. Again, I haven't seen it in years, but
again, the animation looks really good.
I do remember the animation being nice.
This is animation that still looks good now.
In my review to it, that when I reviewed all these movies on the blog, I said watch 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. All right, Monsters Incorporated.
Another hilarious one.
Yeah, it's very funny. It's one that and the climax is fantastic in this. The door with the doors. And,
And the even the credit scene is hilarious. Put that thing back where it came from. We're so healthy. And it's Billy Crystal. So Billy Crystal is actually one of the funniest people ever created.
And he's perfect for this character. It's a funny movie. I remember, it's one that when I think of it, I remember the comedy before anything else. But I remember the story touched a lot of people. The story's really good too. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good. I remember touching a lot of people. Like they really were into the story.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're one of the 5 people that haven't seen this, please watch it because it's a lot of fun. Yeah. I think everybody can get something out of this one.
Yeah, it's one that no matter how old you are,
you'll like it.
Yeah. Return of Neverland.
Nope, we're not talking about this.
Fuck this movie.
I hate it. Stop.
I hated it as a kid and I hate it now.
My favorite character's not there, Virginia. What do you think? In the beginning and the end.
Obviously, I haven't seen it since I was a kid and I was forced to watch it with, like, friends.
Me too.
Ours. Yeah, we were both. Yeah, and we were like, I don't like this, I remember. Alright, Lilo and Stitch.
We loved this when we were little.
Yeah, I remember we begged our parents to take us to see it.
They're like, no, that looks weird. I don't know why they were like that.
Yeah, they had a babysitter take us.
You take us to see some of the shit. You take us to see Cats and Dogs, but you're not going to take us to see that. You take us
to see Kangaroo fucking Jack.
Yeah, but you're not going to take us to see Lilo and Stitch. That's a creepy one.
Yeah. I do think this one would appeal more to kids. It's different for us because we grew up with it, but I think that, if you are an adult and you're watching it, you're not going to get as much.
I think anybody would like Stitch, though. He's an incredibly likable character.
I think especially to young in heart, I think. But he's adorable and he's funny and
he's already become one of Disney's signature characters.
He's really well animated too.
Remember the funny trailers at the time? Get your own movie. Those are funny.
Those are funny, yeah. Granted, they didn't advertise the movie very well, because they made the movie seem like it was about something completely different than it was, but it was a good way to introduce a character.
Yeah.
Alright, one we didn't see till we were adults, Treasure Planet.
And we ended up liking it, because I was seeing the trailers as a kid thinking,
I did not want to see it,
I know. However. And I watched it and I was like, wait, I would have really liked this, but I think I like it even more now, also because, again, some people we really like are voices in it, again, because you have David I. Pierce, who we love. And also Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Emma Thompson, and Martin Short, the wonderful Martin Short.
Yeah.
And again, there's adult moments and kid-friendly moments, and I think they both work.
Yeah, the adult moments are pretty memorable in this. Like the way Jim connects with
and it's not pandering. It's not like, oh, look at us. Like Atlantis is kind of pandering. Like, look, we can be adults.
Yeah.
This one really just finds that perfect balance. Again, it wants to please everyone.
Yeah, it's not perfect, but it does. Like, I think it's one that
give it a chance.
Yeah, I wish I gave it a chance. Because I feel like as a kid I was granted. Yeah. As a kid I wasn't. I just wanted to see what I wanted to see. You can't blame me for that, but it was.
But I really feel like I missed out on something because because if I like it now, I wonder what I would have thought as a kid. Maybe it's something I would like more.
Something now, I know I would have loved as a kid, and this is a great character to morph.
I know I would have, and also Martin Short's Robot. I would have loved both of those as kids. Yeah. And I love them now, actually.
Morph is such a great character.
Yeah, we love Morph.
Like, doesn't say a word. He reminds me of...
Every time he moved, we were like, aww! Yeah. Aww!
He reminds me of Pascal from Tangled. The way he doesn't talk, but he reacts to a lot of what's going on, He's
just a little pink blob.
Yeah.
And he's adorable.
And he, again, morphs into things.
Yeah. It's awesome. So give that one a chance.
Yeah, that one, if you're into Disney movies, give it a shot. Again, not everything works, but there's enough there to really you could even own it and just watch it every once in a while. For instance, Jim is your typical brutish teen. I was like, am I playing Final Fantasy? What's going on? Why is he brooding so much? But I mean, but they at least give him a backstory.
Yeah.
And they generally show why.
And he goes through
character
development.
He does. And his bond with I don't remember his name, the Blackbeard character. Yeah. But I know in Treasure Island it's the character that, the XB of Blackbeard. I don't know if he's called Blackbeard in the movie, probably not, but their connection is interesting.
Yeah. And the animation, oh my god.
Yeah, really good. Alright, Jungle Book 2, haven't seen it since I was a kid. Yeah, we're not talking about it. Another one we won't talk about, Piglet's Big Movie.
Yeah, I don't remember that very well.
I did not like it as a kid because...
It makes Pooh Bear look like an idiot.
I hated that because they just rewrote all the canon. Like, the stories that you loved and you grew up with as a kid, well, fuck you for liking them.
Yeah, exactly.
They changed everything. They're like, Pooh is an idiot and he takes credit for everything Piglet does.
And you're stupid for liking him.
Yes. Alright, Finding Nemo.
I remember first seeing this in the theater. We had a lot of fun.
I remember being blown, everyone was blown away by this movie.
And it was so funny.
Yeah. It was the movie that, when we saw it, everyone our age, when we all saw it, we would all talk about it with each other because we're really into it. And, I think that, I remember when we went to see it, I remember our parents were driving us, and I hear Mom and Dad talking about it, and they're like, everyone's really liking this movie. I wonder if it's any good. And
they love it now.
Yeah, and they said, I hear it's supposed to be even better than Monsters. I was like, wow, how can... Yeah, because, it seemed like Pixar was getting, they were up in their game with each entry, and then this one, went
even further.
Yeah. It's still considered one of their best films. It's considered one of the best animated movies ever made.
And,
a lot of people
again, good voice actors.
Albert Brooks.
We're an Albert Brooks family.
And Ellen DeGeneres, who's
both the perfect voices.
And what's nice with this one is all the characters they meet along the way. Everyone is fun.
It's a road trip movie, which I love.
And I really love the tank of fish that Nemo hangs out with. They're all funny.
Yeah. And Willem Dafoe's one of the voices there, so I like that because I like him.
Oh yeah, well, the tank of fish are all voiced by great people.
I know. Disney must be news radio fans. They use a lot of people from there. Pixar, I mean. Wink, wink.
Yeah, we have 2 people from news radio in the tank.
I know. That's what I was thinking, do you really like news radio? Because if so, yes.
We can hang, yeah.
We're going longer than we thought.
Yeah, at least, who doesn't like talking about Disney movies? Okay. Alright, Brother Bear. Haven't seen this one since childhood, I think.
I like hearing Joaquin Phoenix.
I think he's a good... I remember he's a good voice.
Because you don't really associate with him with films like this, so it's kind of fun hearing his voice in this.
Maybe I did watch this one again, just to see my opinion of it. And I just... as a kid, this is one of those movies I thought was kind of boring, but also, it's one with a good beginning and a good ending. Yeah. But,
the stuff in between,
The stuff in between drags.
I know a lot of people don't think Coda's annoying. I don't really think he's annoying, but I can see why people... I get why people
think that. He doesn't bother me
that
much.
No. Because there's so many kid characters that could be annoying. I really don't think he's one of them. Maybe it's because he's a cute bear. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's because I've seen so many annoying kid characters I got on my nerves.
I'm really? We're going to wrap on this one?
But yeah, Joaquin Phoenix is a good voice. And also...
The animation's beautiful. Yeah.
And also as opposed to Finding Nemo, the side characters they meet along the way, they're one-dimensional, and they don't do much, and they try to make these jokes that just are really confusing.
I'm sure kids will get the SCTV reference.
Yeah, and there's for instance, the scene where the mountain goats are yelling at themselves and hearing an echo and yelling, shut
SCTV,
up, shut up. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it's the
characters they were on SCTV, but they're moose now.
But it doesn't make sense. Oh, those were the moose, but this is the mountain goats.
Oh yeah. No, you shut up. Yeah, I remember.
But I'm they're mountain goats. When do they have
Wouldn't they have heard that before?
They've never yelled at anything before.
Or maybe this is a daily occurrence, I don't know.
They just have a bad memory, I guess. Alright. The Incredibles.
This is a fun one. Yeah. If you like superhero movies. I like that each family has a different power. And
it's nice that it's getting a sequel. I hope it's good.
Because Jack's a very fun character, so I can't wait to see him.
What they do with him. And also, this is one that really deserves a sequel, because it's one that you can do so much with.
And superhero movies always get sequels anyway.
Yeah.
whether they need one or not.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, the action is good and the comedy's funny. I don't think it's, I know a lot of people really like this one. I don't think it's like I don't think it's like Pixar at their best.
Yeah, I don't like it. I mean, I don't like it as much as like Monsters.
No, I don't like it as much as like Finding Nemo or something like that. But I think, but I mean, I enjoy it. Yeah. It's not one I always like to go back and watch like a lot of the other ones, but I do when I go back to watch. I do it with it.
And Edna Mode's
the best.
So yeah,
the whole
she needs her own movie.
She does. The whole montage of the No Capes montage is way too funny.
And the prologue is pretty funny.
The prologue is great. Like how they're being interviewed.
Yeah,
it's so funny.
Leave the crime fighting to the men? I don't think so.
Honey, where is my super?
And Samuel Jackson's hilarious.
Yeah.
So he and Edna Mode are the best parts.
Yeah. All right. The first Pixar movie we did not like, Cars.
I was so bored watching this in the theater.
I almost fell asleep.
Me too. And Doc Hollywood much?
I'm sure they've never seen it.
Oh, I'm sure. It's just a coincidence that everything, it's the same plot. But
it's Doc Hollywood with cars. That doesn't even make sense.
I don't get it.
It doesn't make sense.
Like, they're watching Doc Hollywood and they're like, wait, let's do
this with cars.
Or they're like, let's do a movie with cars. What can we do? I was watching Doc Hollywood last night. I guess we could do that. Oh my god, nobody will know because kids are idiots.
It's not like the adults in the film notice.
It will work because nobody saw that. No, I think more people saw it than you think.
But our family, we've seen most of the Pixar movies in theaters, and we haven't seen any of the Cars sequels because none of us liked this one. And sometimes we go out with different opinions. Like,
we were pretty young when we saw it too. Yeah. We should have liked it
because everyone else our age liked this.
I know,
one,
and I was like, oh, okay.
This. We were in 6th grade when this came out. Like, going into 7th, I think. But we, didn't see the sequels, and sometimes we go out, like, when we all see a Pixar movie together, we come out with different opinions. Yeah. Everyone else's opinions are wrong. Bianca and I generally agree, but
they don't know
they don't know what they're talking about sometimes. But, this one, none of us liked.
Yeah, I know.
And...
You were very silent coming out of the theater.
I don't think we even, talked about it.
I remember we ate afterwards and we were just like...
Because we all, you always talk about the movie you watch afterwards, but, we were all like, did anyone else want to... Like, we were probably thinking, don't tell them you almost fell asleep. Yeah. I can't fall asleep sitting up. If I could fall asleep sitting up, I would have.
I know. I was thinking, because all our ones I saw before were so good, I was thinking, oh my god, is something wrong with me? No.
I thought so too. I was like, am I looking at this incorrectly? Am I I was wondering. Yeah.
And I realized they're not the same people that did Nemo, so it makes a lot of sense.
Yep. Okay,
right. Ratatouille. We were really tired when we first saw this. We were at the beach. We were
all exhausted.
So we didn't get a lot when we saw it. But then the second time I saw it, I was like, I was way too harsh on this. Yeah. This is actually kind of cute.
Well, yeah, I know. When I watched it, I was tired.
Because we were always just sitting in the theater. We're, by ourselves. And
yeah, no, we didn't go in with, an audience of people, really.
And after a day at the beach, we're just like, what's going on?
But then, we all complained about it when we went out. But then, I remember I was in class and they needed to play a movie to make the time go by.
To make us shut up.
Yeah, so my teacher put on Ratatouille and I was like, I don't want to watch this.
Yeah,
but
me
then
too.
I found myself, watching, I'm like, oh, there's nothing else to do. I'll watch it. And I was like, okay, this isn't a bad movie.
I remember I was reading with the lights off, and I was like, wait a minute, I kind of want to watch this.
I do remember, even when the first time I saw it when I was really tired, there were moments that made me laugh.
Yeah.
I was mainly bummed that, Patton Oswalt as Remy didn't talk more, because I wanted Remy to talk a bit more, but...
Yeah, I know, because I liked him as a character.
Yeah, but I think that, watching it a second time, I feel like now that I'm older, I would get more. Yeah,
I would want to watch it again.
Me too. I think that I would, because I liked that about WALL-E. I think I'll like that about Ratatouille if I see it again. And also this has Pierrot Tool in it. So right at the time, I was young and I didn't see Pierrot Tool movies. Now I think I would have a completely different tune to this. Yeah,
whole reason to watch it.
Yep, Pierrot Tool. My man. Alright, next. WALL-E.
Whoop, whoop.
This one's a good one.
I remember right when it started singing, put on your Sunday clothes.
You and I looked at each other.
Because I played this soundtrack until it would not play anymore.
Yeah, and that was our favorite song.
Yeah, and it was my favorite movie for a while, too.
It was your favorite movie. I did like the song. Yeah. And...
because we like Michael Crawford.
It plays Put on Your Sunday Clothes and It Only Takes a Moment. It plays
both Michael Crawford.
Two great songs.
So if you feel like Michael Crawford because you're a person with taste.
I think that and this is one that oddly enough when we came out, our mother and our brother hated it. Our dad and the two of us loved it.
Yeah.
But they're the only two people in the world I ever met who hated this movie because everyone else I've ever talked to loves it.
They just don't get some things.
They have a weird taste in things, but then I was like, does everyone feel that way? And then I found out it was like a lot of critics put it number one of the movie that year, and
because they were like, he didn't talk a lot. I'm like, there was a lot of time to talk, really.
I was like, yeah, but he has such personality.
I know he does.
I feel like that if I would go back to watch Ratatouille, I would feel that way with Remy.
You love that robot.
I love
him.
And the friendship romance he has with Eve is Eva.
Yeah.
I mean, it's likable.
Oh yeah.
And I remember a lot of people talk about the environmental message of it, but to me, I think what really works with it is what it's able to do with little dialogue
and a love story. Like you feeling like you're alone in the world, but you're not.
There's not it doesn't go for a lot of exposition. It lets the story just unfold in front of you. And
it really understands subtlety.
Yeah.
Which is something that Disney at this time was not doing very much.
And the ending almost made me cry.
I think I was crying.
I don't blame you. That is an emotional roller coaster ending.
It is, yeah.
All right.
Then it plays It Only Takes a Moment.
I know. It's it's great. And the animation's fantastic. That's computer because they make it cartoony enough. I think that's computer CGI that's gonna look really good.
And because it's a robot, he looks good in animation like that.
Alright, speaking of movies we liked a lot, Up.
I love this one.
Yeah, great.
It's really funny, too.
Yeah.
I guess everybody always talks about the crying moment, but it's really fun. It's a fun movie.
And the opening's great. I didn't cry.
Yeah, I didn't cry either.
Because I'm a robot, but
I didn't cry either.
Yeah, I was emotional during it, but
I'll get to ones I cry at later, but because it's not like I don't cry during movies, but I didn't cry during this because I guess maybe I kind of figured what was going to happen.
But the foursome of characters we have, we have like the old man, the Boy Scout, and Kevin the bird, and Doug the dog, and all four are great. They're all so enjoyable.
And Ed Asner's the old man. So Mary Tyler Moore fans,
like me.
Yep. And I love Doug.
Doug the dog is great.
So funny.
He's hilarious.
I love just how the dogs are always dogs.
Yeah, like they can talk, and
you get Christopher Plummer as the villain too. I forgot to mention.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Good villain voice.
Yeah.
He's played a villain a lot in animated movies.
Yeah, it's a good.
Yeah. If you're again one of the 5 people that haven't seen this, please watch it. Do yourself a favor.
All right, The Princess and the Frog.
It's a fun little film. I like that it's animated.
Me too.
Like
that's the best part about it. I think.
And I like that it takes place in the 20s in New Orleans.
Yeah. I think the thing that saddens me is it could have been great.
Yeah.
It could have been great, and it's not quite there.
It's almost there. It's getting.
Yeah, that's a good song.
Yeah, I like that one too.
No, I Got Friends on the Other Side. That's a good song.
Yeah. And I like the villain, very creative.
Yeah, I like the way he's animated, and like
with the voodoo
and his whole song, like how he's introduced through his song, and how he it's so cool.
Yeah,
but yeah, I like the animation a lot, obviously, because it's like old animation.
And they were clearly trying to like kind of bring the Renaissance back with this.
Mm-hmm.
And in some parts it really does remind you of the Renaissance. In some parts you're like, oh, where are you going with this?
Yeah, I think we'll get to Disney's resurgence in a very short bit, but this one, I think that sorry. I think that it was weird how they kind of used almost I don't want to say they talked around racial issues, but they used, like, allegories for it, and I'm like, why even bring it up if you're not going to make it a thing? Like,
either make it a thing or don't.
Yeah, or just don't. Just let the characters be. But I think it would have been interesting if they did.
I think so too.
They did later, and it worked.
Yeah, because we're all also thinking it too. Like, it's the 20s. Yeah. You're in the South. Yeah.
Because there's the one where they're like, well, someone of your background. I remember everyone we watched it with, we were all like, whoa, and then they were like, wait, they just mean that she's poor, and we're like, oh. Okay, like, it did not seem that way.
What did you want us to think?
And the way they said it, they clearly wanted us to think it, like, because they said, well, someone of your background, like, you know, like, hyphenate background, but it was just like, did they just try to bring something up and then never really make it a thing?
I know.
Yeah. Alright, the one that brought Disney back, Tangled.
We really like this one, actually.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
It's a lot of fun. Again, a road trip movie. A
road trip movie that's fun.
Yeah, it really has the...
Way more fun than Brother Bear.
Yeah, it really has the sort of, tone that their ones from the early 90s had. It really brings that back, and it works. Again, by just making a fairy tale. Yeah.
And while the animation is computer generated, I do feel it's one that will probably still look good down the road, because it's not done to look realistic. It's not done to look cool. It's done to have the Disney style, but in a different medium. And I think, and while I do really want them to go back to some hand-drawn stuff in the future, I think it looks nice.
And her hair is almost a character in itself. Yeah. And we like the minor characters too. And I like Flynn as a character a lot too. Yeah. He's finally, like, a man, you know, in these movies that's really developed. Although Prince Naveen was pretty developed, too, in Princess and the Frog.
Yeah, Prince Naveen was a good character, but yeah.
But yeah, Flynn is just...
He's great.
Yeah.
And clearly meant to reference Errol Flynn.
Yeah. Because he plays a scoundrel like Errol Flynn would, so it's a lot of fun seeing that.
Yeah. It's one where the characters are fun, the situations are fun, and the humor is really funny.
Yeah.
Maximus the horse is funny.
He doesn't talk.
Pascal and Maximus never say a word, and yet they're so
such characters. Yeah. So yeah, I think a lot of people would like this one.
Yeah. To the few people who haven't seen it. Yeah. All right, Brave.
I haven't seen this one. She has. I stayed home watching Woody Allen movies.
I went to see this with my parents. It was weird. Just going the three of us, because normally the whole family goes to see Pixar, so it was just the three of us in the theater, and it was one that we knew going in, because we heard about the reviews for it, that people said, it's okay.
Yeah.
And that's...
Because they said, do you want to go see Brave? And I said, no.
And that's was our reaction to it. It was okay. Mm-hmm. It was one where the animation is great, and it's, you know, very vivid, and like with how Rapunzel's hair is a character, her hair in this is a character. It is, yeah. But I think it's one that, it's not, it has some good ideas that aren't taken to full advantage of, although some of the characters are fun. Like, especially, I really like the three triplets, and then they're funny. They turn into little bears, yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah. The mother and the father are good characters, but I think that, and I get the story, like, the mother-daughter story is a good idea, but I feel like it could have been, you know, it's one of those that you're like with Princess of the Frog, you're like, this could have been great, and it's not. Like, while watching it, you feel something is missing, like, the whole time you're watching it, can't but think, this movie is missing something, like, it's missing some spark to it that's not there. Alright, Wreck-It Ralph. This is one we saw in the theater, because I had to see it.
Because she loves video games, so if you're a video game fan, it's a lot of fun watching.
You'll get a lot out of this, and I think...
There's a lot of side stuff, like, you would want to pause and just look at it.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those type of movies, like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where, you know, we'll get to that when we get to live action, but, because it's kind of weird to talk about it when you talk about animated movies, but, it's one that, like, I thought it would be more of, like, you know, seeing my favorite video game characters, so that part of me was bummed, but I totally get why they didn't do that, because that wouldn't be a movie, that would just be fan service for me. But, I like, but this one has Yeah. And but the characters in it that do show up, like Cubert and Sonic, are enjoyable. It's funny how they have Cubert knees, because I, like most people, assumed he was cursing when he said Cubert knees, but I think the ending to this made me feel like $1 million. It's one that I like the message to it, and I like the story of it. I think that
I could watch this right now.
Yeah, me too. I think some parts of it, like, do kind of overstay their welcome, but not to the point where it becomes annoying.
No,
I think it could have moved a bit faster, but that's about it. I don't think it's original. It's fun.
Yeah, and like usual, they pick the perfect voices.
Yeah, and the heart goes a long way. This is one that
it really has a lot of heart.
Yeah, you really like the touching moments,
and it works. The heart. You're not like, oh my god.
Yeah. And the humor when it's there is funny.
Yeah.
Just because you bad guy doesn't mean you bad guy.
And I like how he's with all the other villains, like in a group.
Yeah, like in a group chat, and how they actually got all these great video game characters. They had to make deals with people like Nintendo to get Bowser and Sega to get Eggman, Dr. Robotnik. And I think it's funny, and I think if you're a video game fan, you're gonna get the most out of this. But I think even if you, because Bianca, you know who these people are.
Oh,
like,
of course.
You're not like a parent that doesn't know what any of this stuff is. Seeing this,
I grew up with you. I know. I know them.
You know these. Yeah.
Cubert. What is a Cubert?
What is a Cubert? But I think that like, even if you weren't familiar with video games, you could still enjoy it. I don't think you'll get as much out of it, like not nearly as much, but yeah. Right. Monsters University.
Well, we saw this when we were in college, so there were some parts that we liked.
Yeah, it is your basic college movie dressed up as Pixar, like, because it has those cliches and stuff. But I found it funny.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
I think
the new characters are kind of fun too. They're not like one-dimensional, you know. They're kind of like the losers, but they're nice guys, you know.
But you also get why they're losers.
Yeah.
Like, the one is totally out of it. The one voiced by Charlie Day is like, you know, really out of it. Like, at one part he's just looking at a butterfly. I'm like, okay. Like, he's like, oh, like how they have to pretend they're hiding. Like, okay, there you are in plain sight.
Like, just with the butterfly.
I was like, that's funny. That makes me laugh. And it has, this one has an array of voice actors who, like, even in, like, smaller parts, like, you can recognize some voices. Yeah. Like, the announcers in this, I think, are Aubrey Plaza and Nathan Fillion.
Yeah. I know, because I remember, like, it's not,
Yeah. Like, it's, you know, really hard to distinguish. But I think that it's one, don't expect the, like...
Don't expect it to be as good as Monsters, Inc.
But I actually do like the message of it. I think like, it actually makes you feel really bad for Mike.
Yeah.
But I think it's also, like, it's not, like, a pie-in-the-sky message, because it's like, you know what? Not all your dreams are going to come true, but that doesn't mean that you can't be a part of them.
Yeah. And Sully, you know someone like that in college.
Oh my gosh. No, like, I think the funniest part, and one of the funniest parts in the movie, is when he goes to class, he's like, can I borrow your pencil? I forgot to bring mine. Yeah. Because I'm like, you know that guy. Alright. Huge movie here. Frozen. So do we love it or do we hate it?
Okay. We love it.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
Like I said,
I don't love it. Like, I'm not like, this is the best one ever. But
but I think it's fun.
And Olaf's in it.
Yeah, this is our generation. This is not like how our generation had The Lion King as like the big movie. The new generation, this is their Lion King, and you know, not a bad movie to have for that. I think it's, you know, it has a good message. It has the animation's really nice. The songs are fun. And excuse me, you know, good voice acting. I think that
you know, like I said, Olaf, who I love.
Yeah.
Like I like kind of collect some Olaf stuff.
Yeah.
I admit. Cuz he's just so cute.
But we saw this one. I think another reason why we really like this one, we saw this one in college with our
coffee house would show.
Our coffee house would show movies before they would stream on video, and like when they were like kind of just leaving theaters, and they played Frozen, and we got there early so we could get the best seats, and we did. And it was packed. It was packed. And
but everybody was quiet when it was on.
Yeah,
you know?
And we were all super into this movie. Like
we had so much fun watching.
Everyone, the whole audience, we were cheering. Yeah. We were laughing.
Yeah, we were laughing like we were 7 years old. It was fun.
Like if a character did something awesome, we were all like, "Yay!" Yeah, it felt like being.
Yeah, it was like being a kid because you were with people your age who were acting like kids,
and everyone was just super into this movie. I mean, how can I hate a movie that gave me an experience?
Yeah, exactly.
Like to me, I write in my blog, I say it's not Bambi good, but it's good. Right. Big Hero 6. Do you like this one or The Incredibles more?
I probably like this one more because
I like The Incredibles more, I think.
I like
this one doesn't have Edna Mode in it.
This one has Baymax in it.
I do. To me, this movie has the friendship between Hero and Baymax is the high point.
Yeah, well, I like Baymax as a character.
And it's... Yeah, I like Baymax as a character,
I think that's why I said this, because I'm just like, Baymax!
Yeah. He has some funny lines.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like the other characters really as much, but I like Baymax. Well, like,
everyone in this movie is a cliche. Yeah. It's kind of like with Atlantis, but...
Except for Baymax.
Yeah. But it's...
Like, he's the Milo of the movie.
Yeah. It's but unlike Atlantis, it's charming. Yeah. And it will appeal to people of all ages.
And I did cry during this one, when it looks like he was going to sacrifice himself, because it brought back Iron Giant memories.
It did.
We would cry every time we watched it. We'd have to go to the bathroom. It was awful, and we saw it many times.
This movie actually deals with difficult situations.
It does.
And an interesting plot twist, too.
Yep.
And it's like, with the difficult situation, it's handled pretty well. It's not handled perfectly, but it's handled pretty well. Mm-hmm. And again, it's in a way that you could understand where the character is coming from. It's like how they do Jim in Treasure Planet, but except you actually got to see it before your eyes. You got to see how he changes and how he is able to gain back who he was.
Yeah.
So that journey is interesting.
Oh, we said Pixar on his news radio fans. He must also be 30 Rock fans.
Yeah, Disney did this one though.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, they must be because Scott Adsid's Baymax, and before in Wreck-It Ralph, Jack McBrayer was Felix. Yeah. Fix it, Felix.
I'm gonna fix it. All right, a really good one, Inside Out.
I cried 2 times watching this.
I don't blame you.
Well, I just got over depression, so I was like, this gets me.
Yeah. No, I felt that way too. I'm like this movie understands like us as people, man.
Because it's funny that this like 11-year-old girl, I'm like resonating with her so much. I'm like, yes, that's how I feel. Yeah. She gets it. She gets me. She is me.
And like, the way it dives into your brain, it's so interesting.
And again, the perfect voices.
Oh my god, the people they got, they also must be Office fans, but the people they got,
they like good shows.
Yeah. The people they got, and Parks fans too.
Oh yeah, Parks and Rec. Yeah.
We had Aubrey and now we have Amy, but
yeah,
I think that this, but yeah, I think the voice acting in this, they really got the perfect people to match the emotions.
Yeah.
Oh, Kyle MacLachlan's a voice in this too.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. So you really like that.
I like Twin Peaks, so and Blue Velvet.
You like Twin Peaks, where you love
okay, I love Twin Peaks. I love it, and I love Kyle.
Yeah, like you said, you like David. You just like David Lean.
So I like Blue Velvet, and I like other films he's in.
Every time I see something Twin Peaks where like Blue Velvet related on Twitter, I make sure to like it.
Thank you.
But I think this is one that I think kids will like. But I think it's like with Toy Story 3. Kids will like it, but if you're an adult, you'll get more out of it, I think.
Like, if
they know the adults are watching this.
Like, they're finally making stuff for everyone again.
Yeah.
It's not Cars, it's...
Yeah. It's definitely not Cars. This is the opposite of Cars. Alright. Another one we really liked is Zootopia.
Yeah, I liked all the characters in this one, too.
Yeah.
Especially Nick the Fox, voiced by the perfect choice, Jason Bateman.
Yeah, another perfect voice addition. And I think that, again, kind of like how I said in A Bug's Life, my favorite part was how the bug world, interacted.
Exactly.
This one does it way more. Yeah. And so I was super into it.
Yeah, because obviously in Bug's Life, Flick goes to the city in, one part, because he needs to find the hero bugs.
Yeah. Kind of like, how they go to the city in Seven Secret.
Yeah, exactly. But here it takes place in Zootopia. So
you gotta just see all these animals and how they're animal qualities affect their roles in society, and I was so into it. Like,
yeah, and there's a lot of voices in this. Like, there's Shakira, there's Idris Elba.
Yeah.
So naturally we like that. Hearing that voice.
And this movie is smart.
It's not preachy in the least.
No. You would think, because when I heard what the theme was, but I heard everyone liked it, I was like, it's gonna have to do something really creative with it to work, and it does. But, I think, and it's also never boring. It doesn't have, like, a part like, okay, now we gotta get to the boring part where, like, the characters go through, like, what they have to go through, to make the movie end, but it's not like that.
And I like how it shows that, both sides just really, are victims of each other.
Yeah. And how,
because you see Judy Hopps' story in that. She's picked on by a fox, so she doesn't like foxes. And then you find out Nick the fox, he was picked on too for being a fox, even though he didn't do anything.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there are many sides to their characters and what's going on.
Yeah. And they don't come around and say, like, no, I don't like you because this happened.
Yeah. They know that kids could connect the dots.
Yeah. Kids aren't stupid. Next one.
Alright. Finding Dory. Meh.
Yeah.
I think that
when you have to compete with... It's like Finding Nemo. It's like Fantasia 2000. You gotta compete with Fantasia.
Yeah. You're right. That's what it felt like to me, because I thought this would be a grand adventure like Finding Nemo was.
I was looking like, so
me too. I was like, another Finding Nemo? Because I was like, I didn't think doing a second Finding Nemo was a good idea, but then when I realized they were doing something different with it, it's not just like, somebody's lost and we have to go find them, even though that's what it turned out to really be. It's just like, how Dory is lost and Marlin and Nemo have to find her, but not to the epic proportions of Finding Nemo. Because I was like, well, even at least they do that. The story of Finding Nemo was so epic, the way they traveled and all the characters they met, it was so fun. With this one,
I guess they interact with the human world so much, I was just like,
me too.
What the hell?
I thought it was odd. I was like, the humans would be like, something is up, okay? Like, all these, like, the way these, sea creatures keep trying to interact with us. It felt like in Madagascar when they're interacting with humans, but that's, like, a DreamWorks movie. That's not Pixar style.
And that's supposed to be funny. Like, this one, it's kind of, like, you're supposed to take it seriously, while with Madagascar, like,
I couldn't take a lot of it seriously.
Like, with Madagascar, obviously, you're not supposed to take it seriously, but so it's funny. But this one, I know, I was just like, this is a lot of her, the stuff happening relies on luck and pure chance.
I noticed that too, and I thought that was odd.
In Finding Nemo, there's not any of that.
No, it's, really the father's commitment to finding. But again, we do have some good voices. We got, as our parents, we have, is it Eugene Levy? And Diane Keaton.
I thought it was Catherine O'Hara.
Was it Catherine O'Hara?
I don't remember.
Because
it's someone we like.
Yeah, I think it was Diane Keaton, but I'm not sure.
And you have Sigourney Weaver as herself. You have Ty Burrell, Ed O'Neill.
I think that...
And actually, Ty Burrell seems like the perfect person to voice a character.
Yeah. I think that the flashbacks are, like, the best.
Yeah, me too.
I think... But I don't... Just because, rule of thumb, I tend not to like when movies feel everything has to have a backstory, and that's what this one does. Like, it's like... Oh, Just Keep Swimming has a backstory. It can't just be a funny thing she did in the first one, because now when I go back to watch it, I'll be like, oh, it has this hidden meaning.
It's not really funny now.
It's just supposed to be like, oh, is it Dory, like, funny?
Yeah, it's kind of serious. I know, there's a lot of movies that do that, where I'm like, okay, well, now that's not funny.
I know, I've never been a fan of that, but, I have to say, probably my favorite part, and it's probably a part a lot of people miss, because I looked up the voice actors before I saw this.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw...
My favorite part, too, I was going to mention it.
I saw that all the voices of the fishes in the tank from Finding Nemo came back, and I was like, by the end of the movie, they weren't there, and I'm like, I think there might be something after the credits, so we waited, and the credits took forever. Understandably, because there's a lot of people who worked on this. Film. But, and... Our mom's with us, because of course we all went to see this movie, and she's like, I don't think anything's gonna happen, this is gonna take forever, and we're like, no, and I remember our dad and our brother were gone at this point, and it's just our mom and you and I, and we're waiting, and then we catch it at the end, and we're like, and then we went out and we're like, you missed the best part of the movie.
They're still in their baggies.
Yeah, it was only for a second, but I was funny, and they were like, and it's disgusting, like they're like algae and stuff.
But they're so happy, they're like, look at us, look where we are now.
And how they're, and, like, how they're still in character.
Yeah.
Look at this Flo.
Yeah, I know. Hi, this is Flo. But she's kind of crazy. Now you gotta get to the recent ones.
Yep. The ones I did after the blog. Let me just double check to make sure. There's only one I can think of.
I'm thinking of two.
Okay, so I'll look this up.
Because you don't know how far you'll go.
Okay. Any more thoughts on what we were talking about?
I think I said them all. Don't put me in the spot.
Well, you know what? Yeah. All right, Moana.
It's the animation is gorgeous, absolutely stunning.
You gotta love The Rock. As Maui.
Don't we like him?
And the new girl they get does a good job too.
Yeah. And I like the animals Pua and Hey Hey.
Yeah, I like them too. But yeah, granted, they
pigs are my favorite animals, so I'm glad to finally see a
the
pig.
Comic relief seemed out of place at times.
Yeah, it did.
Like, I think that the animation of it is nice. I feel like the adventure could have felt bigger, kind of like because I feel like something like Finding Nemo, but the adventure feels fine.
Yeah,
like I think that it's one that I thought watching and I thought was good, but it could have been better.
Yeah, it could have been. Like, it's a fine movie.
Yeah.
But it's not spectacular except for the animation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know a lot of people like that one, and I can see why.
Yeah, I mean, it's not Zootopia good, but yeah.
All right. Yeah, I agree.
But we're ending on a high note.
A really high note. We saw this just like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad we did, because this was a great experience. Yeah. And we watched it with our parents. We watched Coco.
I cried like a baby.
I almost cried, and I never did.
At the end, I was bawling like for the last 10 minutes, like bawling.
Yeah, this was a great movie.
Yeah. Not only was the animation good, the story was good.
The themes were good. I think that it's something that I think kids will like because of the way because it doesn't talk down to kids.
No. But
I think adults will get a lot of it. It's kind of like Inside Out.
And a good idea using the Day of the Dead as a backdrop.
Yeah.
That was interested me too.
Yeah, me too. And I know that the people behind the scenes took a lot of time to make this movie.
Yeah,
like they didn't.
It shows.
Yeah, they didn't just write it in a year. Like they studied like what they could about everything.
And they actually get Hispanic actors.
Yeah, who do a good job. The kids.
Yeah, the kid's great. Yeah. And he sounds good too.
Yeah, he does.
The songs are good.
They sing a lot of old Mexican standards, which are cool, and
as well as some new ones. And also, we were saying the movie hero. We said he looks like Pedro Infante. I don't know if that was like on purpose, but it's kind of fun seeing them do a shout out to old Mexican movies.
Yeah.
And good twists.
Like we saw the twist coming,
but there were some parts I was like, okay, well I didn't see that part, but I saw that part.
We saw like the big twist coming, but granted, I don't think that I
don't think children would.
No, I don't think children will, and also I feel like that wasn't the big. It wasn't supposed to be the big thing you take away from it.
No,
it's it's not supposed to be like, isn't that shocking? Yeah. Aren't you shocked?
It's not a Charlie Chan movie. It's not a mystery. Yeah.
It's more of him, the main character, really learning to accept who he is and where he comes from. And I think that, that's why they do the twist, so that, he could go from being proud to, realizing, reality.
Yeah.
And I think that
And
it works.
The kid's very likable too.
He is.
And I love the dog Dante.
Me too.
How he's really a spirit guide.
Yeah.
I loved that.
Yeah, and how he earns his wings almost. Yeah.
And then in the end you see him and the cat like turns into a regular cat. So they're always there with them, watching them.
Dante is such a
again, doesn't talk.
Yeah, such an endearing presence. Every time he's on screen,
we were laughing.
Yeah, he's so enjoyable. Like he's
clumsy.
He's such a character. He's one of those great, as we were mentioning earlier, one of those great characters that doesn't talk.
Yeah, like Pascal, Evan Rude. Yeah, like that.
He's ball of personality.
Yeah,
a lot of fun to watch.
So if you haven't seen this one yet, go see it.
Go see it. If you've been waiting for it to come out, it's streaming now. Yeah. Definitely watch it.
The best one in a while.
I think so. I don't remember the last one that moved me this much. Zootopia, maybe.
Yeah, if you don't count Pixar's Inside Out.
Well, yeah. I was gonna say the last Pixar one that was Inside Out, or I should say the last one that moved me that much was Inside Out, but the last one that I got really into, was Zootopia.
Yeah.
Because Zootopia wasn't meant to really move you. It was mostly meant to, make you think.
Yeah. But it does. Yeah.
Yeah, it does in its own way, but yeah. Alright, so let's quickly talk about some live action.
Okay. We love live action Disney.
Yeah. You'll notice one of the second...
The 50s and 60s ones.
Yeah. The second Talkin Pictures blog post I ever wrote was called What the Hell Happened to Live Action Disney?
And how.
Yeah, because to me, I mentioned in the blog, I said, Disney is back on top. And that's so nice, isn't it? Isn't it wonderful? They're back on top everywhere except live action.
And it still goes.
Yeah. The exception being, it's like they put all their creative effort into the live action films that aren't done by Disney themselves,
the Marvel
but by their other companies,
the Star Wars
and all that stuff. Which good because I go see I go see Star Wars. I want it to be good.
Please put effort in Star Wars, but
But I feel like because they still obviously do live action movies through their own studio as they should, but where's
their originality?
Yeah, where's their renaissance? Because they're, especially now that they're just remaking all their,
live action ones went through one good golden period and that's it.
Yep.
You don't have a renaissance.
This is before, and I wrote that blog before they really, really, really jumped on the remake train.
Yeah,
and
I remember. I said it still goes.
Yeah, it goes even more now because now it's because everyone sees those movies. I haven't seen them, but because if I want to watch Beauty and the Beast, I'll watch. If I want to watch a live action Beauty and the Beast, I'll watch the Cocktail movie. If I want to,
even though Kevin Kline is in it,
yeah, I hear he's the best part.
Shocker!
If I wanted to watch a live action Jungle Book, there are those too.
Yeah,
I saw some.
I'll go watch Sabu.
Yeah, exactly. I saw some of the live action ones as a kid. I know, but
I'd much rather watch Sabu.
Yeah, but I just think, and I hear that one's supposedly the best one.
Shocker again. The Cordas did something good.
No. I mean, yeah. You're right, but I think that more so than because I hear that one at least, did something's new. But again, I didn't see it, so I can't say it definitely did.
But doesn't it mean something that we don't want to see them?
Yeah, exactly.
Like with the anime, it's like, oh, let's see that, let's see that. Like even if they're not so good, oh, let's see it anyway.
Yeah.
But with the live action ones, nope.
Yeah. I know.
I've seen the good live action ones. I know what their good live action ones look like back when they had Dean Jones and Tommy Kirk and Bobby Driscoll.
And it's just so weird that everyone talks about the Disney Renaissance and it's like, well, where's the live action Renaissance? It didn't happen yet. And
when people talk about Disney movies, they don't talk about the live action ones as much, even though I love them. And in some cases, some of them are just as good. Yeah. Swiss Family Robinson, that's a great one. Pollyanna, great.
One of the best ones, yeah. I think that, and they something like Swiss Family Robinson is such a sense of adventure. When I talk to my dad about live action Disney, he always says, Oh, I remember that one. I remember that one.
Yeah.
I remember that one.
Do
I remember the ones that came out when I was a kid? Because I saw them. Nope.
Yeah.
I don't remember them.
He told me one of his first crushes was on Nancy Kwan because of Robinson Crusoe, U.S. and
it's funny. He remembers things like
that.
But
I don't remember anything like that.
I'm a lot younger than he is, and I don't remember.
I don't remember getting crushes on the guys in those movies.
No, and I don't remember them. I saw them, and I don't remember them. I remember some, because if they had a funny line or two, but I don't... Because, like... and to me, this is the big problem with live-action Disney today. It's either... And live-action Disney since, like, the 60s.
Yeah.
It's either too young or too old.
They're either too young or too old.
They either feel too juvenile for adults to get into, or too adult for kids to get into. Like
the live action ones were just like their animated ones. They were for everyone.
Exactly. They're supposed to hit everybody. Yeah. They're not supposed to just be for the one demographic. Yeah. That's why Winnie the Pooh is so much more endearing when he's in his shorts, and and it's aimed more at this like charm that most people can get into, as opposed to what they do with him later, which is more juvenile stuff. And I think that, like I mentioned, when we went to the drive-in as a kid, the first drive-in we went to, and we didn't go to the drive-in a lot. We didn't. Yeah, like maybe I was there 2-3 times, maybe.
I was in Scranton.
And yeah, I was in Scranton, and we saw Dinosaur and the Kid, and I didn't find out like the real plot to the Kid like years later. Yeah. All that stuff went over my head.
Me too.
I should, like, but it's like, isn't it supposed to be enjoyable for me too? This is Disney. Yeah. Like, and I was like, because I remember,
maybe I should watch it now so I can know what the hell was going on.
But I remember, like, there's a line.
I remember it, but
yeah. I remember it very vaguely. I don't remember, like, really any specific
I remember, like,
scenes.
moments of it.
I don't. I remember one moment of it. 2 moments of it, actually.
Okay. Yeah.
But I remember, like, there being a line in it, and I was like, and then I realized years later when I heard what the plot is about, because it's not like it suddenly dawned on me what the plot was about, because no, it went over my head, but when I learned what the plot was about, I was like, oh, that's why he said that, like in that one scene I remember.
My mom had to tell me what was going on.
Yeah. I was like, but, it did not feel like it was made for kids,
Yeah.
Whereas now, like...
Probably not for kids as young as we were.
Yeah.
Maybe when you're 11, okay, but...
Well, we were 7. That's not...
Yeah, no.
That's not... that's not 2.
No.
But... Maybe we were 6. I don't know. But anyway. I also... So when I see a Disney trailer today for a live-action Disney movie, I'll think in my head, that one's for kids. That one's for adults.
Yeah.
Like... Aren't these supposed to hit everybody? Like, because you could tell who they're clearly trying to appeal to.
And now I think they're just trying to be too mature, and it's just going all over the place. Mm. Like, with Maleficent, they're like, look, we can be dark and gritty. I'm like, okay, I don't want that.
Yeah, thanks. Shut up, the old one's fine.
Yeah.
I think that, and see, whereas in the 90s and early 2000s, everything felt like it was for little kids.
Like, they did not understand children.
Yeah. Compare Flubber to the absent-minded professor.
Oh my god, do we have to? We'll be here forever.
See, as a kid, when I was 4, Flubber was funny.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, I like Robin Williams, but like, Fred McMurray is awesome.
Now,
he's the first Disney legend.
Whereas now, absent-minded professor's funny, Flubber is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And it's clearly aimed at young children with a creeper plot thrown in.
Yeah.
Except in this one, the character doesn't learn his lesson.
I know.
What the hell?
I know. In the first one, he learns something. He goes through something called development.
He actually goes to his wedding in the first one. Like, do you think...
If he can't even go to his own damn wedding, I mean...
That's the whole point of the character. Like, I remember wondering when I saw the absent-minded professor, I'm like, oh, I hope they don't do that stupid-ass thing that the remake did, where in the end they find a way for him that he doesn't have to go to the wedding, but he can still get married. No, he goes to the wedding because he's an adult.
Yeah, because he learns, she's
not the one that has to change, he is.
Exactly. He's not like, she has to stop being a bitch. That Nancy Olsen, she's always a bitch.
She really has to stop talking down to me and telling me I have to go to my wedding. How dare she?
And also, he did it like several times. I think in Ab's Mind Professor, that's the first time he was at the ceremony.
Yeah,
where
first or second. I
think,
because
because he was too busy discovering Flubber.
Yeah.
So he just completely forgot.
Also,
which is understandable if you make a big discovery like that.
And something I forgot about with Flubber, because I haven't seen this movie since I was a kid, but then, like, when I was, like, when I saw, like, a clip of it or something, I was like, oh, right, the two, because, fuck, I don't remember these characters, because they're forgettable, but the villains in it are assholes. I was like, in the original, they're funny.
It's Tommy Kirk and Keenan Wynn, and they're hilarious.
And Keenan Wynn is the diabolical one, and Tommy Kirk is, like, the harmless but stupid son that, like, just goes along with it. Like, okay, I guess.
Like, there's one part where his father has Flubber on his shoes, so he keeps bouncing up and down, and he's calling up girls saying, like, hey, come on, see my dad.
Look at this.
And the girls are there like, I wish my father was interesting like yours. It's, you know, so, yeah, the original is a hell of a lot funnier. And the same goes with a lot of the movies they did.
Yeah, and I feel like
they're just they're really funny. They're live action movies.
I feel like something like, you know, maybe like something like Blood in the Forest and those Callaways would be enjoyed by older kids, but I think if I was younger, I would still like them.
Yeah,
I know, because I saw some movies like that when I was younger, and I liked them because I saw Nicky Wild Dog in the North as a kid, and I liked that.
And if you liked Old Yeller as a kid, I mean, you'll probably like that. Yeah. And the later ones from like some of them are just really funny. Like Blackbeard's Ghost, we were cracking up hilarious during that film.
That's a plot that you hear, you're like, that sounds weird, but then when you watch it, but then, no, you're like, that sounds weird. Wait, Peter Ustinov is the ghost? That sounds amazing.
Yeah. Wait, Dean Jones is in it? Okay, I'm there.
Yeah. That movie's funny.
Yeah, there's a lot of them like that are just really, really funny.
Yeah. I think that, like,
I remember we would watch the Shaggy Dog all the time when we were younger because we thought it was the remake when we first got it, and then we were like, hey,
because there was like a made-for-TV version of it or something like that.
Not the Shaggy DA. It was a made-for-TV one, and we thought it was that because we were stupid. And but luckily, it's a stroke of fate. We watched it, and we're like, hey, this is black and white, but we watched it anyway, and we ended up liking it a hell of a lot more. And now we can't even remember the made-for-TV one. We love the Tommy Kirk one.
The only thing I remember about the made from TV one is I think it spoofs Lady and the Tramp, but it does it with real dogs, so it doesn't, like, they don't even do the spaghetti thing. It just looks fake.
I remember one part he says, hey, I can't see. That's all I remember.
Oh, because he's Shaggy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably the best joke in the thing. I shouldn't diss it like that.
But yeah, the Tommy Kirk one, we like that one, and it has a really good cast because you also have Fred McMurray, Gene Hagen, Tim Considine, and Kevin Cochran.
And Annette.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Annette Funicello. So, yeah.
Monkey's Uncle Woo Woo. I think it's funny as a kid.
Merlin Jones, I love Merlin Jones.
I think it's funny as a kid when we listened to
all these songs.
We listened to the Disney CDs, and we didn't know, because our favorite songs were like the Monkey's Uncle, Are We Dancing, and those were the ones we didn't see. Yeah. Like, when we would always listen to the CD, we weren't like, oh, we have to listen to Be Our Guest. Oh, we have to listen to Part of Your World. We're like, no, let's play the Monkey's Uncle. That's the best.
So that says something for the live action ones. And I remember I would always wonder what John Davidson looked like after hearing Are We Dancing? And when I saw him, I was like, he's even more beautiful than I thought.
Perfection. Yeah. Detroit.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. And Tawny Steele's in it, and Fred McMurray. So, Greg Arson, her last film.
Yep.
See, these are amazing movies, and if you love old movies, these have people you love in them.
Yep. And something like, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, that cast, you got, one movie, a Disney movie, you got James Mason, Kirk Douglas, Paul Lucas, Peter Lorre, all together. That's a dream cast. Who doesn't want to watch that? I know.
We should probably, mention
the best one.
Well,
what? Which one were you thinking of? Mary Poppins.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say the one that started it all, but...
Oh, right, yeah. You want to talk about that first?
Okay, so we're gonna, just talk quickly about Song of the South.
Let's not go too much into it.
No,
but, yeah.
Because we'll probably save another time to really talk more about it. But this one, gets a lot of flack for
people who haven't
seen it. If you watch movies at this time, it's really... It's pretty progressive for the time.
It's banned because Disney did it. If any other studio did it, it would be available.
But I say they always have, like, warnings in front of the cartoons because they don't want to censor them. Why can't they do that with this?
Yeah, and also...
God forbid you have a conversation about racism.
On the back of all my cartoon DVDs, they say don't buy... Like, they basically say don't buy this for your kids. These are for adult collectors. I can pull up... You know, I can pull up Looney Tunes right now. Yeah. It says that.
So I don't know why they can't do a song to sell.
Yeah, can't you just say this is for the adult collector? Yeah. But it's because it's Disney.
Yeah, I know.
Because Disney has to release them for everybody.
But they have a big ride with Brer Rabbit and Brer Bear.
Yeah, but people aren't supposed to know that.
And I must say, like, with Song of the South, I must say, Ruth Rorick's in it, and she was, a lifelong, civil rights activist, so she would have never been in this movie if it was like that. And if you're an old movie fan, you know, if you would see this, you know what we're talking about. It's pretty progressive for the time, because it, just really is about friendship.
Yeah, don't put it on the same pedestal of Birth of a Nation.
Never.
Nothing's that bad, but yeah.
Because the whole message is just this boy and this man who works on the plantation just becoming friends.
Really, the worst thing the movie does is it just portrays, like, you know, happy-go-lucky slaves or servants.
Yeah, but a lot of movies did. Like, how's that any different from Gone with the Wind?
How's it any different from Shirley Temple?
Yeah. And if anything, it's better than what Gone with the Wind shows because there's
an actual friendship.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's a bond here because one of the famous shots is Bobby Driscoll's hand reaching for Uncle Remus's hand, and you see the white hand holding the black hand. Like when he's sick in bed, he only wants Uncle Remus.
I remember when we saw this one, we watched it online. It was a bootleg copy. Yeah. I doubt you can see it on there now. Last time I checked, it wasn't on because I was curious because they got rid of all that stuff. But every comment was, "This is banned." I know. Again, if it was any other company but Disney, it would be available. But because Disney did it, it's, you know, like, that's territory they don't want kids to see. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I understand, but I said, God forbid you have a conversation about it.
Well, because having a conversation about it might lead to understanding that's bad. No?
But it's really, if people would just take the time to see it, they'd realize they were getting worked up over really nothing.
If you can see it.
Yeah. If you know old movies, you know that this is nothing.
Yeah.
So
I watch old cartoons. They're worse.
Again, and also, they are because they really deal with stereotypes. Like this one, really not so much.
No.
Like Uncle Remus doesn't have a weird voice or anything.
Not really, no.
No, like he puts on a voice for the cartoon characters he voices, but that's really it.
And he was a voice actor anyway.
So exactly. And that's what you do when you tell stories.
Yeah.
So now we're going to talk about the best one, Mary Poppins.
Yes.
And we've mentioned this many times. This was the first favorite movie we had that we can remember.
And because we talked about it in our during Oscar month a lot.
Like we were in a Disney group in college, and a lot of people there didn't see this film until we saw it.
What?
I know. Isn't that insane?
I wasn't there that day. I had to watch our dog, but yeah.
But I remember thinking, oh my god, some people don't grow up on this.
Like, did you come from, like, really sad films? Like,
you must have. I can't think of any other reason.
At my old job, my coworker, said, like, she mentioned she never saw this to me. I was like, how haven't you seen this? It was, I mean, I just don't get how somebody could have grown up about this. I mean,
because it's just so much part of our lives. It always has been.
I mean, I can understand it if you're, like, if you're from a foreign country and, you know, and this wasn't readily available at your video store or something. Or because I feel like if you had a TV and, you know, you were a kid from 1964 on up, you saw this. Yeah.
That's what I would think, but I guess I'm wrong. But yeah, we adored this film, and I said it's pretty long. It's like 2.5 hours long. We never bothered us as a kid. We were able to sit through stuff. I guess a lot of kids aren't. We were able to.
Yeah. So, what would you think would be Disney's second best live action film? Because I can't say for sure.
Probably something like Pollyanna or Swiss Family Robinson.
Those are definitely in like the top 5.
Any of
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Any of the Haley Mills ones.
Yeah, I like the Haley Mills ones.
Because the Parent Trap, that Selena O'Hara and Brian Keith are in it.
Yeah. But I mean,
it's hard because I like a lot of them.
Yeah. And again, you get something that's like, high comedy like Bullwick Griffin, and then you get something,
because our boy,
and you get something that has like a strong heart to it, like Pollyanna, or something that has coming of age aspects to it, like Summer Magic. I mean, you have all these like, it's not just like, watching the same type of tone, the same type of theme in all these movies. They like really try to do things differently.
Yeah, they're still Disney, but they're different. Okay, so I guess we'll end on that note.
Yeah.
So we'll be talking.
See more live action Disney.
Yes, please. It's if you haven't already.
Not the new stuff. I mean.
No, not we mean anything up to Kurt Russell period.
Yeah. Have a Haley Mills marathon.
Yeah.
We've done it.
Up to the Computer Wore Tennis Shoes. Do that. Yeah, Haley Mills marathon.
Alrighty. So for suggestions this week, I'm trying to see here. Alright, looks like I just have one. Bianca recommended this one before. I have not. Alright, Rachel and the Stranger is playing...
My kind of movie.
Tomorrow at noon. For William, because William Holden is star of the month. We're very happy about that, because we get to watch William Holden, and that's always nice. And this one has, I mean, you get a,
star trio.
Yeah, 3 great stars. William Holden, Loretta Young, and Robert Mitchum.
And Dory Sherry produced it, and Norman Foster, Loretta Young's brother-in-law, directed it. And speaking of Disney, he did Davy Crockett.
Yeah, we didn't even touch upon
things
like that. Yeah. That was another song we always had to listen to as a kid. We're like, play Davy Crockett. Like, no, don't play me something I've seen.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Alright. Whereas you don't have anything.
Okay, everything in mine played. Sorry.
You snooze, you'll lose.
You miss out on my awesome suggestions.
Yeah, I'm sure they were really, really, really good.
They were. I had
Which you can look online.
Yeah, they were. Curious. I had the Lodger.
I had the Lodger too. I'm not an idiot.
Okay.
Alright, see ya.
Bye.